Golden Square wins for me. Yep.
Josh?
Strath for me.
And I'll take the Storm as we're underway in the preliminaries final. The winner to meet Eaglehawk next week on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Thompson first, hands on it for Golden Square. Fell at his feet though. Nobody can get it out of the centre. A very good tackle laid by Jack Geary on his Storm opponent, and the umpire will ball it up again. Slap bang, still right in the middle. Compton got it down again. Kick out of the centre. Well, it went laterally. Nobody's got any sort of an advantage yet as they wrestle again in the middle of the ground. The umpire comes in for his third ball up. So still in the centre of the ground, perfect conditions. Now a chance for the Storm to get it out. They will. Jake Moorhead on the left boot, got it high, inside forward 50. Chance back there for Dorrington in defence for the Square. He goes wide. Target out there was much. He can't get there close to the line. And the umpire has picked out a free kick. It'll go to the Storm, half forward, outer side.
Yep, Harvey's got the football. Chips short to half forward. This is Trent Donnan at left half forward. Oh, it's an awful worm-burning kick inside the forward 50. Lee was pushed off it by Shannon Geary, who picked it up, sent it to the top of the square. Jack Geary got back there, as did Callan. Jack, the better of the two, though, kicks it outside the defensive 50. Lovely kick finds Marciano. Back in the side for the Dogs this afternoon. Great kick into the centre of the ground, and a good one-handed mark's taken by Morecambe. The Dogs are out to the grandstand side, and that's where Morecambe goes and finds Thrum. Thrum's got Baird leading inside the forward 50. Cut off by Donaldson, though. Did well. Came across and chopped the angle. Bonnie wrestled with Baird for the football. They both saw it across the line, 45 metres around from the Golden Square goal, and they kick to the Barnard Street end in this first term.
You called it earlier, Joel. Jack Geary and Callan Geary will go head-to-head in a match-up today. That'll be a fantastic one to watch.
Fair contest, that one. Throw in just inside forward 50 for the Dogs. Still no score on the board for either side. They work it within 20 metres of goal. Storm defence held up. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to Square. 25 metres out, right on the boundary line. Is that Thrum with the football?
It is, young Jake.
He will start his run up from behind the bar in the South Social Rooms and to the Barnard Street end. Fires goal. Goal umpire watches it sail right across the front, and it's over the line and out of bounds. Penalty free kick in the other back pocket. This time the Storm will take it.
Well, he's an okay kick, Thrummy, at goal, but that was always going to be a tough ask. Callan Geary brings it in for the Storm. It's a heavy side. Good crowd in this afternoon, Josh.
Yeah, fantastic crowd. It's only more going to roll in the gate as we can see them piling in now.
And, of course, we're expecting a really even contest. Heavy sides kick outside the defensive 50, track towards Hall. Happy to see it across the line was much. Throw in on the outer side at right half forward in front of a very, very busy Golden Square contingent on the outer side of the ground. Of course, the Dogs in action in the A-grade netball as well this afternoon against Gisborne. Ball chucked back in. Compton and Crone. Crone got his left hand to it, paddled it back toward the boundary line, and it rolls out up the race of the pool change rooms.
That'll be a great battle.
Thrown back in.
That'll be a great battle all day between those two.
So 3 minutes gone, first term of the prelim final, and still no score on the board for either side. Ball thrown in, just inside forward, 50 for the Dogs, went over the back. Chance here for them. It's run on and picked up, fired towards goal, bouncing ball. Can they find a target? Baird comes out, takes it, turns, goes to the hot spot and finds a teammate. Square mark, 15 out, dead in front, and a shot on goal.
Hamish Morecambe,
I would think, would have to be the first score of the day, boys.
He's going to do well to miss from there.
You would be sensational to miss everything from there. So Hamish Morecambe, 15 metres out. On a beautiful day, directly in front to the Barnard Street end. Kicks the goal for the Square. So they go out to a 1-0 lead. 4 minutes gone, first term.
Geez, they're up and about, Golden Square there. A lot of pressure, a very high pressure start to the game, I think, boys. And I think some matchups, like I said earlier before, Jack Geary, Callan Geary playing on each other, Harry Conway, Michael Dalrymple. I think it's going to be some good battles all day and in the ruck. The two big fellas in the ruck, Joel, I think it's going to be quite tight in there.
Yeah, Crone and Compton, two of the better ruckmen in the league this season, played majority of games. And the Gearys going head-to-head in the stoppage from the ball up. The Dogs come forward again. Tomer across half forward, scooped it out toward Geary, put him under a lot of pressure. He was tackled, and a ball up. As Jack Geary couldn't evade the tackle on the front edge of the centre square, the Dogs into attack again. They kick to the Barnard Street end in this opening term with the breeze that blows toward the pool change room's pocket. Heavy side through the contest. Callan Geary got to it. He couldn't get a boot to it though. Toma shared it with Lowry and then got it back, but had to do a little bit of work to track the handball back. That was eventually picked up by Kieran. Got it to Lowry inside the forward 50. And Johnston's mark 52 metres out at right half forward, and this is not beyond him by any stretch.
No, it's in his range.
He loves them from this distance, and this is in the Sam Mildren pocket. So Johnston, who's been on fire in the finals, from 52 metres out, gives it a good ride, but he's left it narrow. The breeze brought it back narrow. And only one behind. The Dogs with a bright start. They're 1-1. Strathfield say yet to score. 6 gone opening term thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Kick out good to Smith, who marks on his own at centre half back and gets support. Storm quickly to half forward. Scrappy old kick. Sharp out in front takes it. He's got Anderson right on his hammer. Sort of gets around him. Throws it on the left boot. Lockie Sharp to the hot spot. It's all Dogs back in defence. And the mark is taken in the very last line by Dorrington, who goes wide. Wants Geary. Can he run onto it? He can. He's under the pump, though. Has to get rid of it. Does. Got it to Morecambe. Morecambe's coughed it up. Geary's got it for the Storm. Centering kick to Sharp. Got him. Found the league leading goal kicker. 40 metres out. 45-degree angle. Well, it's the old story. Doesn't matter who you are. If you cough it up, you're dead. Geary took it. The kick to Sharp was terrific. Sharp knows when to lead. And he lines up from 45 metres. There's his first of the afternoon. Storm's first of the afternoon. And they trail by a point. 117 square, one straight Storm. Thanks to Aussie Disposals.
As Jack Geary come off, Callan Geary come off as well. But Cal Geary there, the vision and composure for him was fantastic. He just waited for Sharp to just get that little edge on his opponent. Popped it out in front perfectly, and Sharp, as he puts the Dukes out, just takes it nicely and slots it through for their first major of the day.
Quarter time in the North Central Footy League, Josh. Birchip Watcham by 16 points. Witchy with only the one straight on the board. Back here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval, the ball's in the middle and Compston wins it down. Toma does the roving, burrows his way through. Tracy shoveled it out back to him, couldn't get a boot to it. Much came in off the back of the square, but it was picked up by Moorhead. He's pushed off his kick. Much by hand to Walters, who goes out wide to the outer side wing for the Dogs. Flying high with a clearing fist was Sheehan. It was lost by Sean Young, then picked up by Morecambe for the Dogs, still on the outer side wing. Pressure is really, really high in the opening stages. Brady gets a high ball towards half forward that's well judged by Shannon Geary, who gets on the right boot and goes inside the 50, but it's a poor kick dropped by Dalrymple, who lets Sharp in. Then Dalrymple smothers the kick 30 metres out from the Storm goal. They draw a 50-50 contest. Two Dogs defenders collide. Dalrymple goes back in and picks the footy up, and then Sharp was adjudged to have jumped into his back. So 20 metres out from the Dogs' defensive goal, they evade the pressure momentarily, and Dalrymple shares it with Thrum in the back pocket.
Nervous Dogs defence early on. They go back into the defensive goal square. That's okay. Lee, been a good player for them over the past month. Pardon me, takes a good mark. Goes wide to half back, out of side. And I think the umpire's paid the mark to Johnston.
Yep.
He has, big fella. Had a shot at goal a moment ago. Now he's marked at half back. Goes inboard back to Dorrington, who's got it. Just outside defensive 50 for Golden Square. Back to the wing, out of side. Good kick. Finds a teammate. Square moving into the centre of the ground. Mark's taken for them down there by Toma. He now goes long, direct to half forward. No one can take the mark. Plenty of Storm players in defence. They get it back towards the centre of the ground. No targets. Square with numbers. Taken by Coe. Coe on the wing. Grandstand side. Goes to half forward. He couldn't find a target. Right on forward 50 now. Tracy's in there for the square. He can't dig the footy out. And the umpire balled it up 52 metres out from the Dogs' goal. It is at the 9-minute mark of the first term. 117 square, one straight Storm, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Ball worked down in front of Wallace by Crone, who couldn't run onto it, and a ball in left half forward. So Jaden Donaldson has the match up on Johnston, and he's just letting Johnston run right up the ground in the early stages. It'll be an interesting one to watch, that one, Josh.
Oh, I think you'd let him do that. Really let him do that, because it's not so much he's dangerous in the 50.
Ball thrown back in and slapped back toward the boundary line. And again, we'll have a ball in. Dalrymple and Conway will be in really, really exciting duel as well. And Road is inside the forward 50 for the Storm and matched up by Will Lee as the umpire chucks it back into play once more. Crone front spot, won it down decisively with two hands. Nayland's handball around the contest from the Storm was cut off by Walters. Gee, that was a shocking handball back to Coe, who had two defenders right on his hammer and was immediately brought to turf on the grandstand wing, and John Norton calls for another ball up.
Absolutely sold him into trouble.
Just goes to show the pressure of it at the moment.
Must owe him money. Ball up on the wing, grandstand side. There they go. Chance for the Dogs through the pack. Tracy, gee, was he grabbed high? Play on, said the umpire. So he goes back and gets it. Got it to Geary. Captain Jack under the pump. Ball goes into no man's land, wide. Oh, Thrum will run onto it, picks it up, goes to half forward. The kick went over the head of the prospective target. Can the Dogs get some numbers back? They can't. Right on forward 50, it's locked up. And the umpire is going to ball it up. A little bit nervous start, both sides maybe, just missing a few targets, Josh.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Jock, the pressure is unbelievable from both. As soon as someone gets the ball, they're tackled straight away.
Ball up just outside forward 50 for the Dogs. Hit towards the boundary line. Donegan's there, can't run it down. It's over and out of bounds for a throw-in. So Square in attack. They lead by a point. 11-minute mark first term. Winner into the grand final against the Borough next week. The loser, well, you can plan what you're going to wear for Mad Monday.
And during cricket season.
Exactly.
Crone goes up, wins it down. Callan Geary, in fact, Hall it was, tackled by Baird. Geary got a kick inside the forward 50. He was looking for a teammate, trying to present up there was Rosengren, had it knocked away from him. Ball goes to ground still inside the forward 50 and 40 metres out from the Golden Square goal. The ball up and a little bit of feeling exchange. Thrum and Hall in there. Umpire just getting on with proceedings. Crone wins it down. Back toward the defensive goal. Wallace went without it. Geary too. Coming outside the defensive 50 is a running machine in Callan Geary, who kicks into the centre of the ground and finds Road, who's at the back point of the centre square where he marks in front of Lee. Gets on the right boot and kicks to the outer side wing. It'll hold up in the breeze in front of Stringer, who's accosted by Kieran. Now has to give some ground. His handball back to Heavyside was dangerous. Heavyside's handball straight in the air was cut off by Tracy, who fed it to Kieran, who tried to track it toward the boundary line, but it was over and out. And a throw in just attacking side of the wing for the Strathfield Say Storm.
Brad Road, first game back for a while.
Yeah, he's only played two in the seniors for the season, been playing in the reserves for a couple of weeks now.
Oh, good luck to the boy. Throw in between wing and half forward for Storm, outer side of the ground. Invites go out, pack turn up, and the umpire will ball it up. So, good crowd turning up, isn't it?
Yeah, really solid.
Still building from the ball up, taken away by Jack Geary for the Square. Goes long inside forward 50. Can't find a target. Donaldson cuts it off with a good mark. Switches play. Now the Storm. Exit strategy. Grandstand side. Conway the target. Got up too early. Went over the back to Coe. Conway's got him. Ball spills loose. Chance for the Storm. They've come out with the crumb towards Sharp, and he's taken the mark. How did he get that? It went through two players. He's played on, kicked it to a player in the goal scorer's run into an open goal. That's Stringer, and one on the board. Quite extraordinary. 30 seconds of play.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I don't know how they got it to
Stringer?
Lockie Sharp, because he was third in line, and then he's played on from 40 metres. How do you kick 130 goals and play on from 40 metres out?
Takes a special talent.
Second one on the board. There's two straight Storm, 117 Square, 13 gone, first term. Thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
2 goals for the Storm, Josh, both of them coming in transition as well. This time they'll go out of the middle. Wallace bustles his way through the contest, kicks on the left boot inside the forward 50. Stringer slapped it down in front of Sharp, who works his way into the pocket. Lovely pick-up, shovels it to Formosa, who was run down by Lowry. Terrific chase from Dale Lowry. And he wins a free kick for his side inside the defensive 50. Comes across the goal face to Young, who works it to Thrum outside the defensive 50. And he's going to go back inside and find Zane Kieran, who's got Will Leon in the scoreboard pocket.
So Lee takes it. He's got a little bit of space and runs on from the back pocket. Scoreboard side goes to Dorrington. Dorrington from half-back, long kick over the centre. Johnston the target, bouncing ball. Donaldson's with him, can't trap him. Taken away by the big fella Johnston. Around the body, inside forward 50. Mark to the Bulldogs. 40 out, on a bit of an angle, and the mark has been taken by Tommy Toma.
Yeah, he was all alone in the goal square then. I think it might have been Hall who was on him and left him, and then Donaldson rolled up the ground a little bit, and Toma came in with a big run at that footy and came straight over the top of the pack.
Well, he's not quite big enough to be taking marks like that, Tommy, but don't tell him. So Toma, from 45 metres out, 45-degree angle, has kicked a goal for the square. So they go to 2-1-13, leading Storm 2 straight, and we've played just on 14 minutes in the first quarter, 15 minutes I should say, of the preliminary final, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Jizzy locked that off the boot. He pumped the fish straight away. Then as soon as it left the laces there, fellas. But just goes to show here the pressure of the game. The tackle count is 6 apiece inside 50, Strath 5, Square 4.
Well, I tipped Square to win on the basis of Jack Geary, Tommy Toma and Jake Thrum, and I'll tell you what, I'm looking all right so far.
They're going okay. Compston thumps it out of the middle. Baird threw that to Geary. Geary got it out to Young. Young goes on the left boot inside forward 50 for the Dogs. Toma's there. All good grab. Read it well, did Jake Hall, and diving, falling away, was able to take the mark on the last line of defence. Goes to the top of the defensive goal square and finds Donaldson. Donaldson to Brady in the scoreboard, or the pool change room's back pocket. Hemmed in now by Morecambe, who almost smothers the kick. In fact, he did. It spilt loose to the Dogs, and Morecambe threw himself back in on top of it. And then saw it across the line, and then Morecambe has some words with Jam Sheehan, and they have a little bit of a tussle over near the fence. Meanwhile, the ball's thrown back in. Right half forward, right on the 50. And it is the Storm into attacking now. A free kick's coming here, and I reckon it's coming to Golden Square. So out of the scrimmage, there's been a free kick picked out by the umpire, and it's coming to Tom Toma, who is about 55 metres out at right half forward. Didn't see what it was for. His kick inside forward 50 is an absolute shocker. Bonnie's there to cut it off for the Storm. He was quickly tackled, came to Lester. Lester's handball was dangerous towards Toma, who nearly cut it off. Eventually the Dogs will try and work it back inside the forward 50. Thrum goes up, Conway over the top, roved by Donegan, who got it out to Welsh. Welsh with a handball back into traffic. The Storm still under pressure, deep in defence. Finally they draw the footy, and they'll have a ball up 30 metres out from their goal.
Terrific pressure, both sides. Under the pump, the Storm defence, they stood up, square pressed, ball up. 25 out from the square goal. Up they go. Plenty of numbers around. Johnston went up on his own, thumped it away, but there's a whistle on play. Storm, yes, we'll get a free kick in the back pocket.
Conway.
And a great man in attendance this afternoon, Ron Best.
Yes.
The Ron Best is in the house.
You know why he's here? He wanted to watch Lockie Sharp.
Is he going to present the medal tomorrow night?
He is.
The Ron Best medal?
Yep.
Fantastic. He's an absolute jet. Kicked inside forward 50 for the square, but the Storm defence under the pump. Oh, kick off the ground, went nowhere. Still on their forward 50. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Hard to find any space. Eventually it's kicked out and marked by Kieran at half forward for the Bulldogs. He's got it between wing and half forward. Outer side, he's gone backwards and found Dorrington. So the Dogs prepared to reset.
Yep, they can switch to the grandstand side here for Anderson. 18 gone first term, 1 point the margin, square in attack. Anderson marks on the back point of the square on the grandstand side, gets on the right boot and sends it to half forward, and Adam Baird, who gets up high and marks in front of Hall, 65 metres out from goal. Low right foot pass inside the 50, cut off by Bonnie, comes to ground, high tackle, free kick square. Free kick coming to Harry Donegan, who pops it over the top, all alone in the goal square, a pair of Dogs.
Two Dogs.
Thrum took it, and it's going to be 50. So Harry Donegan will get 50. He will stroll to the goal line and put through the Dogs' third goal, and he whacks it onto Barnard Street with the left foot, and says, Jam Sheehan, how about that? 3-1-19 the Dogs, 2 straight 12 the Storm, 19 gone opening term thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
I think the key for Golden Square today is to move it in quick to their forwards there. Adam Baird did the spot-on thing there. He took the mark, he wheeled around on his right, got it in quick. The pressure that is created by Golden Square has forced Strathclyde to make a mistake, and that's how the goal has come to light.
Small forward lines, Josh, apart from Dylan Johnston, and I wouldn't class Brad Road perhaps as a monster.
No.
Both sides, small forward lines.
Well, we look at Strath. You got Cal Geary, Sharpie, and I think we had the other Geary in there before, but not very big at all.
So the square, their nose in front by 7 points at the moment. in a reasonable opening. There's no real advantage wind-wise to either end of the ground.
What's Johnny's windsock up doing there? Going in circles, I think.
It's doing very little, as Johnny himself. But we're waiting on the ball to be brought back because...
They're getting the new one.
Are they?
Yep.
Just quick update, the North Central boys, Birchip, Watcham 3-4-22 lead, Witchy-Proof and Narraport 2-2-14.
Come on, you demons.
Other grand finalists are being played over in Maryborough this afternoon.
Yes,
Carisbrook and Navarre.
Navarre were trailing by 13 points early in that one.
All right, going for 5 in a row, Navarre, which would be a league record.
Quarter time, in fact, it was 13 points the margin.
Ball up, centre of the ground. Tracy a chance for the square. Went over it. Went back and got it. That was pretty good. Kicks them to half forward. Out in front. Chance for Young. Wants support. Gets it. Dogs back inside forward 50. Johnston the target. They kicked it over his head. And how they manage that, it rolls over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
At least you know you're a good kick if you're kicking it over his head.
He's 8 foot tall and he jumped. So the kick didn't just miss, it missed. Throw-in. Forward pocket for the Dogs. About 30 around from the behind post. They lead at the moment by 7 points out of the scrimmage. There's a kick to the hot spot. The Storm defence get back. Bring it to ground level. They are under the pump. Tackle. Umpires given Storm a free kick last line of defence.
Oh, it's an awkward kick from Hall out towards the boundary line.
Yep.
It is out on the full. Wallace got there, but not before it floated over the boundary line in front of he and Adam Baird. So Adam Baird's got it deep in the Sam Mildren pocket, 45 metres out, and he'll start his approach from in the umpires' rooms. Just about over there. This will take a fair kick for Adam Baird. He's kicked 28 on the year. On the right boot from behind the boundary line. It never probably came back inside the field of play. It was way out to the right and out of bounds on the full. So penalty free kick to be taken on the last line for the Storm by Jack Nayland. 7 points the margin, the way of the square. 22 gone, opening term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Nayland brings it back in, goes to the outer side, the swimming pool side, plenty up. No one can take the mark. Dogs have got numbers at ground level taken by Coe. What's he doing down there? Kicks it high back inside forward 50. Another whistle on play and a Storm free kick in defence. Umpires helped them get out of trouble a couple of times down there. So the Storm have got it and they retreat into the defensive goal square to Jaden Donaldson.
So JD's got it. So often the designated kicker in this situation wants to get on the right boot and just chips at the lazy 50 out towards Harry Crone. It's a good option if you can get it. Over the back, running onto it is Shannon Geary, who collects it half back, sends it down the line. Dorrington the target. Nayland attacked the footy well. He was dragged to ground as he tried to get his kick away. It was picked up by Lee, defensive side of the wing for the Dogs, who kicks it back toward the attacking side of the wing, where it's cut off by Lockie Wallace. So the Storm can reload and try and come forward once more, but it's slowed down in front of them. He kicks up the line, and a good mark's taken by Road for Strathfield save.
So Road turns, a low kick towards half forward.
Yeah, free kick.
And the umpire's picked out a free kick. It'll go to Golden Square at half back.
Will Lee, who's going to take it, he just went
slow getting up.
Yeah, when he went for the mark, he went in low, and Callan Geary came in and copped him with the hip a little bit high.
Did he? That's not nice.
So a little bit for a free kick coming to the Dogs.
Been good for the Dogs. Of late, Lee gives it to Dorrington, who goes into the centre of the ground. Shocker, straight over his teammate's head. Put it onto the chest of a Storm player who's marked. Just backward of centre, goes wide to the grandstand side. Now they can load up Storm. Gee, there's options, but it's taken a fair while. Eventually the kick from Jemison Sheehan. Well, he only went about 20 metres wide to Donaldson. Goes lateral again and finds a teammate who's marked on defensive 50. It's worked to half back, then back into the centre of the ground. Was it one too many? It was. Harry Donegan chops it off, takes the football, has a bounce, kicks the goal. No one in the square, and he's put one on the board. Gee, I'm not sure. Is that a coach killer? Harry Donegan's got his second for Golden Square. And how many times did they go laterally, Josh?
Oh, 3 or 4 kicks across the face of goal there. And look, Harry Donegan read that beautifully, I thought. And look, like I said before, and I'll keep saying it at this stage, the pressure from Golden Square has been fantastic. And I think that's where their goals have really come from, John.
I've got no issues with swapping to set play up. But to go back 4 times to me suggests you got nowhere to go up forward.
There was plenty of leads coming up. There's just no one was. I don't know if it was confidence in kicking or not, but yeah, just weren't hitting them.
4-1-25 square, 2 straight Storm, 24 gone, first term.
Dogs out of the middle again through Tracy. Kicks toward half forward. Rosengren leads the race. Nayland there with him over the line, out of bounds, to be thrown in. Fresh live updates. Half time in the Maryborough Castlemaine District Footy Netball League Grand Final. Carrasbrook by 1 straight kick, 6-5 to 5-5. In the Central Murray, it's Warraneen by 16 points over Kerrang. Kerrang going for 6 straight premierships this afternoon. Handball from the stoppage, stolen for the Dogs. Long kick on goal. Floating in is Hall. And it is through for a minor score. The shot came from Toma for the Dogs. So Golden Square continue to press. They're 4-2-26. Strathfield say a 2 straight 12. 26 gone in the opening term of the preliminary final on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Kick out short's okay for the Storm, and Donaldson, he's the general in defence at this stage. Marks in the back pocket. Comes down the wing, floaty old kick. Scoreboard side, plenty up. No one got near it. Now it's loose at the back. Chance for the Storm through Formosa. He needs support, gets it. They go to half forward. Road well out from goal, takes the mark. Now plays on, kicks to a vacant goal square. Who can take it? Anderson in front. He's got it. Wants support. Hand pass over the top was good. Taken by Walters. Back to Anderson. To Dorrington. Over the top. He went to Dalrymple. Dalrymple back to Walters. I'm getting dizzy. To Tracy. Tracy from half back. Goes to half forward. Inside forward 50 for the Dogs. 2-1. Storm gets some numbers back. Boy, they're under the pump. And Kellen Smith will get him out of trouble to the wing on the outer side.
What a passage of play, and now the Storm come whack in transition. Wallace on the outer side wing, little handball around the corner to Stringer, who's held up momentarily, comes into the centre of the ground. Lovely kick for Harvey, marks at centre half forward, inside the 50. Lester is all by himself, and Benny Lester marks on the paint of the 50 at right half forward. Sharp led to the pocket, and he said, no, I'm going to go back and control things and wait for a lead of Shannon Geary, who leads on a 45-degree angle, 40 metres out in the Rifle Brigade pocket, and Geary will go back and take his kick and try and narrow the margin to 8 points.
See, they got Lockie Sharp conscious then,
Very
the square
sharp
defence.
conscious,
They had
yes.
2 watching him, back to the play. Geary was able to lead relatively easily.
Geary comes in on the right boot from 40 metres out. It swings right to left. The breeze pushed it across the face of the goal. It struck the outside of the left-hand goalpost and is 1 behind. The first blemish for the Storm, they're 2-1. Square of 4-2. The split is 13 points, 27.5 gone first term.
Gee, it's great off the boot. It's the last little bit that gets you in trouble. Like marriage, kick out wide to the outer side. Johnson went up early, couldn't take the mark. At ground level, a Storm have got the numbers. They go inboard, that's okay. And the mark's taken by Moorhead. Plays on quickly across to Harvey. Harvey kicks them inside forward 50, and Shannon Geary again, almost from the same spot. He's taken the mark. Now from right on 50, kicks across the goal square, plenty up. Formosa, dangerous. Threw it on the boot. Did he hit the post?
Hit the post.
Oh,
Hit the padding.
gee. Didn't think he had the time. He did have the time, but he missed.
Didn't think he had the angle.
Yeah, minor score. Storm 2-2-14. Square 4-2-26. 28 gone. First term of the prelim final.
Closing on quarter time thanks to Aussie Disposals. Or Dogs dangerous in defence here. Kick from Toma went toward Lowry, who was accosted by Moorhead. John Norton was pinged to say holding the ball then, and he is. So he said that Lowry's dragged it in.
Larry doesn't even have the ball.
No, so it can't. Surely Jack Geary did not have any chance to get rid of that whatsoever. That was a very quick decision. Anyway, Geary's got the football. That's Shannon Geary, who centres it up. That's a terrific kick. An absolute bullet from Shannon Geary, and Fergus Payne has marked 35 metres out on a slight angle to the left. Absolutely no idea why he's wearing number 3. Let's see if it'll work for him from here.
I don't reckon he was looking for. I thought he was looking for his brother in Callan there, but he's just popped up out of nowhere.
And Fergus Payne will kick after the quarter time siren, which means...
I'll tell you one thing, boys, he won't play on.
Thank you kindly. So to narrow the margin to 1 straight kick at quarter time, Payne comes in from 35 metres out. Right foot kick is a behind. Let off for Golden Square at quarter time of the best coming up here on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Second quarter of the preliminary final about to get underway. Golden Square by 11 points as we go into it. Compston wins it down from the middle toward Harvey, only for the Storm, but Toma sharks it for the Dogs and got it to Morecambe, who drills it long to the square. It'll bounce all the way through, but Adam Baird was holding on to Lockie Bonnie. And the umpire blew his whistle and says, no, Adam, sorry, it's going to come back. And so Lockie Bonnie's got the free kick at the right on the goal line for Strathfield Say, sends it out to half-back on the netball court side. Compston through his hands. They track it now to the Strathfield Say side. Heavy side went through the traffic, was brought to ground. Dean Goodrich circles and says, holding the ball. Dragged it in. Free kick going the way of Golden Square, and it'll be Matt Compston who'll take it at left half forward.
Don't get caught on the bottom of the pack. Compston plays on. Got it quickly to Kieran, who goes long inside forward 50 for the Dogs. Just bounced inside the line. Over and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Very wobbly
not
kick.
Dean Goodrich that made that decision, by the way.
Dean might be up doing the North Central day.
He's here, but I'm working at the umpires function on Wednesday, so he'll let me know if I get his name wrong.
Fair enough. Throw in just inside forward 50 for the Dogs. No one can get it out. There's a whistle on play, and the umpire is going to do what?
Bring it back.
Free kick, Jake Hall. Interesting to see Hawley used in a defensive role this afternoon. Bit of a change.
That's 4 free kicks so far in the last line of defence for Storm. Just bringing that up. He goes wide. Gives it to Donaldson in defensive goal square, who goes further across the ground. So again, this lateral play from Storm in defence. Now he centres it to Lester, who to Moorhead, who takes the mark. He wastes no time. Goes to half-back. Better kick. He found a teammate down there in Leicester who gave it off to Crone, who gave it off to Moorhead. Went to half forward, but the Dogs' defence stand up and they've got a mark. It's just a little quieter as Crone takes it and goes to the wing on the outer side. Just a little quieter this start, Josh.
Yeah, it is.
Quarter.
I think the pressure isn't as high as it was in the first quarter, which is to be expected in the second quarter. Both sort of a little bit tired, but and probably a bit sore.
Yeah, it goes long to half forward to a contest. In front, Compston has been paid the mark for the Dogs.
That he has. Swings onto the right boot, goes high inside the forward 50. Probably not the Dogs' go. Donaldson brings it to ground level. Welsh, the roving, was he taken high? Umpire says he contributed to the contact. Good call. I reckon good call.
He's just got to go pick up his head off the ground first.
Yeah, I'm just watching for the replay.
I didn't mind it. Ball to be balled up 35 metres out from the Golden Square goal. Thrum through the contest, through the left boot at it. Johnston tried to go through there like a rugby scrum. He looked like a front rower trying to get it out of there. He was locked up. Ball didn't come out, and still 30 metres out from goal. We'll have a ball up.
So Dogs deep in defence early in the second term. They lead at the moment by 11 points. Kick out towards half-back. Dogs have got a wall set up. Dorrington takes it, goes back inside forward 50 and finds Hamish Morecambe, who marks somewhat under not a great deal of pressure.
I'd love to see the map of their shots so far, Josh, because it seems like they're getting a lot of ball 40 metres out from goal, spotting up targets with that long shot.
Yeah, I think it's their go. I think you can't. It's hard to kick goals here at the QER in the pockets.
So Hamish Morecambe from 45 metres out goes for home and kicks a goal. 5 on the board for the Dogs, 5-2-32, 2-3-15 the Storm, thanks to Aussie disposals. That is 2 to Hamish Morecambe.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to kick good goals from the pockets here at the QER, I reckon, Joel. It's especially with the wind, it's going straight across the ground to the pool side. Look, anyway, good goal.
Sacrifice a deep entry for a shot in front.
Storm just look hesitant to me coming out of defence. They don't know where to go.
No, they don't. I think Golden Square are really setting up well.
Yeah, and they've made a focus of bottling up the corridor because they know that's where that Storm want to go, and taking it away from them early. Back in the middle, Geary for the Storm. That was Callan through the traffic. Moorhead was in there. Crone went past it. Jack Geary threw a boot at it for Golden Square. Tried to scrum it forward again, the Dogs. It's not coming out. We'll have a ball up. Just forward of centre for Golden Square. 5-2 plays 2-3. The Dogs in front by 17 points, 4.5 gone second term. Compston wins it down in the ruck for Moser. Handballs out wide to Sheehan, who sells a little bit of candy, then gets back on the right boot, kicks a high ball to half forward. Road came charging out, then ended up with it while he was on the ground trying to find his bearings. They all fire in there, and at the front point of the square, Dean Goodridge calls for a ball up. This time, Strathfield say in their attacking half.
So the ball across half forward for the Storm. They're 2-3 trailing square 5-2. Ball up. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Compston goes up, wins it down, found Geary. He was tackled, lost the football, goes after it again on hands and knees. Can't dig it out. Pack develops. Umpire will ball it up again.
Geez, we've had some ball ups here today, boys.
Heaps and heaps.
Yeah, lots
heaps.
of stoppages.
And we'll do another one right now. Just outside forward 50 for Storm. Big Crone got it down. Put a teammate on the end of it. He was immediately locked up in a tackle. Nobody can get it out. And we'll add to the stoppage tally there, boys, with another one in the same spot. I don't mind a stoppage. It's part of footy. I don't like 4 or 5 in a row. There's another one. Ball up. Kick out of the scrimmage, favoured the Storm, squirted inside forward 50, danger, chance for the square though, out of the pack, quick kick, Coe towards the wing on the outer side, no one could take the mark, Geary got it, hand pass went astray, he goes back after it, Captain Jack, bottom of the pack, they've locked him up, and we'll have another ball up between centre and centre wing. So the pressure is there,
Yeah,
and the umpire, it's back. It's going to pull it up again.
Much went through the contest, couldn't take it for the Dogs. Callan Geary shoveled it out to Jamison Sheehan. Now they can run the Storm, but Sheehan's kick only went to Zane Kieran. He fumbled it at half forward though. Clever handball to Leicester. Leicester to Formosa on the outside of the boot. Will Sharp mark it inside a field of play? He won't. It was juggled over the boundary line, says the boundary umpire. And so we will have a throw in the right forward pocket. The Storm deep inside their attacking 50. 17 gone. 17 points the margin. 7 gone, second term. Ball thrown back in. Sharp at ground level. Dorrington a clearing kick. Only got it as far as Stringer from the boundary line back to the top of the square. Jack Geary threw his head at it. And Harry Conway threw his boot at it. On the goal line, socketed it through. The ball spilled out the back to Conway. The Dogs desperately trying to concede it over the line, and it results in a goal to the Storm and Harry Conway. 3-3-21 Strathfield say 5-2-32 Golden Square. 7 gone, second term. That is all thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Just an update on the North Central half-time, Joel. Not looking good for you. Oh, well, it's not too bad. Birchip 4-7-31 to Witchy-Proof 4-3-27 at Port.
Polkey with 2, Gordon with 2 for the Bulls in that one.
Nothing in it, that's all right.
Good game.
Exactly, ball up, centre of the ground. Pack develops and the umpire comes in to ball it up.
Witchy will pull away in the
Once
second
again.
half, don't worry.
I see you haven't got your Witchy-Proof hat on today,
No,
Joel.
last time they got smacked.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing that again.
Ball up, centre of the ground, up they go. Dead heat in the ruck. Big fella Crone goes to ground. Fell over like a giant tree and they jumped on top of him. Compston jumped on top of him. He said, oh, if you're going to do it, Harry, I will too. And the umpire balled it up again. So still in the centre of the ground. Early in the second term. Up they go, taken by Leicester. Threw it on the boot, went nowhere. Still towards the centre. Toma takes it, throws it on the boot. Wobbles it to half forward for the Dogs. Couldn't put a teammate on the end of it. Storm defence will get out of trouble. They'll go wide towards the wing. On the grandstand side with a mark. Will be taken down there for them by Harvey. He goes inboard. Gives it to Heavyside. That's Sam. Kick wasn't all that good. He got it back though. Now he's kicked it along. Inside forward 50. Plenty up. Oh, Conway. Big jump. Couldn't quite bring it to ground. Then grabbed it. He was collared. Got it out to Formosa, who's thrown it on the boot. Into the square. Kick off the ground point.
Well, Lockie Sharp's gone down here, boys.
Yep.
Oh no, what?
He's just getting up and running back to man the mark in the goal square.
No, I hope it's not his knee.
Golden Square 5-2-32. Strathfield say 3-4-22. 9 minutes gone second term. Thanks to Aussie
He
Disposals.
does this a little while. He does look like he's calling to come off at least and maybe receive a little bit of treatment, but he is up on his feet, Lockie Sharp, which is okay. Ball on the outer side wing. Dogs to half forward. Johnston marks just in front of Donaldson inside the field of play at left half forward. 60 metres out. Chips it into the pocket. Lovely kick for Baird up high. Did Bonnie infringe? Umpire said no. Donegan tracks it to the pocket. Lays the tackle on Lockie Bonnie. Left forward pocket. Ball is locked up. And we will have a ball up. Scoreboard pocket, 5-2 the Dogs, 3-4 the Storm. 10 points the margin at the 10-minute mark of this second term as Sharp continues to just test out that leg and make sure everything's okay. The forward 50 for the Dogs. Crone wins it straight into the pack. And, well, not like we've said it much so far. Inside forward 50. We're going to have another ball up.
I'll tell you, the weather must be getting better because kids at last going to the ice cream van, boys.
Yes. There's a good line over there.
There is a good line over there. Still in the forward, still in the forward pocket for the Dogs, and Coe comes out. Would you believe? And takes a mark from a Morecambe? Was it? Sorry, who's taken a mark from a kick that was 100 metres high.
Yeah, it was an absolute rainmaker, wasn't it?
And he's just come from nowhere, Morecambe. He's kicked a couple, and 30 metres out goes for home, and has kicked free. So the Dogs get another one. And when Storm start to challenge, the Dogs seem to have the answer and seem to have the ability to put it on the scoreboard. They go to 6-2-38. Storm are 3-4-22. 11 minutes gone, second term. Thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
I've just been watching Golden Square in the last 5 minutes or so, boys, and their rotations. They've had 12 rotations, I think, in this second quarter, and I think a good thing on this hard ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball goes up. Callan-Geary from the middle of the ground. Donegan nearly stole it off him. Spinning his way was Harvey. Well done. From the back edge of the centre circles. Kicks inside forward 50. Rhodes went up. Conway stayed down on the left boot. Fired and kicked a goal. Quick answer for Strathfield say. Harry's got 2 in the term and 2 in a row as far as the Storm goes. And the margin's back to 10 points. 6-2-38 Golden Square. 4-4-28 Strathfield say. 11.5 gone second term. That is thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
Great movement by Strathfield say there. It was quick, and they need to get it in quick, and I think that's what Golden Square's been doing. But just looking down the end there, Lockie Sharp is still on the ground. Looks okay, fine now. He's not limping at all, so he'll stay.
It's been a miracle cure. Ball up, centre of the ground. Pack develops, and the umpire comes in. We'll ball it up again. And it's just starting to open up a little bit, the scoring.
Yep. It's a lot more free-flowing game than it was when they met in the qualifying final.
Two really skillful sides. If they can get their run going on the outside, we'll be in for a treat. Ball up, centre of the ground. Work to half forward for the Storm. Through the traffic went Lockie Wallace, tackled. Caught with the ball, said the umpire. Free kick to the Dogs at half-back. Taken by Thrum. Kicked high towards half forward. In fact, it wasn't Thrum. It was kicked towards Thrum. Big Dylan took it. Thrummy might have opened the gap for him, did he?
Yes, I think he did. Can't have been a big gap.
Roll reversal. Johnson goes with the shortest of toe pokes, just the distance, and gives it to Sean Young, who marks for the Dogs, just outside forward 50. Gets the lead, goes into the forward pocket. It's thumped away over the line and out of bounds. Rosengreen couldn't get his hands on it, and it'll be thrown back into play just inside forward 50.
I know you said earlier, Joel, Jake Hall down there, down back. I like him down there. I like him down there, down forward.
10-point ball game. Dogs in front. 13 gone, second term.
He's long, athletic. He's doing a good job so far, and he's been out of sorts. So good to see him playing his way back into some form. Clearing kick into the middle of the ground for the Storm, taken by Stringer off hands. He releases Harvey, who thought about the handball over the top to Geary, then came back inside and then eventually got it to Shannon Geary. And now Geary goes to the pocket for Rode. They've worked it all the way up the other end here, the Storm. Lovely kick, Brad Rode. Centering ball finds Harvey, who ran from half back inside the forward 50 and has marked 35 metres out, and probably deservedly just doing the bootlaces up / taking a couple of deep breaths.
Yeah, they've worked very hard. Very, very hard.
Dogs got to do something about Harvey. He's carving them up. He's been very, very busy.
Really the only opportunities that they've had is when they've been able to get that run going, and it's something they didn't have in the previous game, Strathfield State. They've run it off half-back with that handball, that link-up. They've looked really good. Harvey actually had a problem with his boot when he was inside forward 50 too, so it almost came off. He had to try and put it back on and then ran the length of the ground with half a boot on.
Hopping, was he? Hopping on one leg.
And now he had to put it back on.
Do you get time on for that, do you?
Apparently. Yeah, John Norton said he could have a little bit of time, so he's put the boot back on.
Johnny might be catching his breath too.
Yes, he might. And Harvey will line up the shot. He is a goal kicker. He comes in from 40 metres out, right foot kick. Is it coming back enough? It's just away to the left. It didn't quite shape left to right. And it's only one behind. 4-5-29, Strathfield say. 6-2-38, Golden Square. 15 gone second term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
So the Dogs bring it back into play and they go short, as is the want to do in defence these days. The second kick, not good. Storm win it back. Lateral kick, cross towards the 50-metre arc. Mark's taken. It's got back to Harvey by hand. He goes long, front of the goal square, and Sharp outmanoeuvred Clayton Anderson and took a good mark. 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. And Lockie Sharp will go back and line up for his second. Doesn't waste a lot of time, comes in. Gee, makes it look easy, Sharp.
Doesn't he ever?
Puts it right through the centre, and that brings the margin back to within a kick. It is the Dogs 6-2-38, leading Storm 5-5-35, 16-minute mark of the second term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Half-time at the Central Murray. Kerrang have made a little bit of a comeback. 6-6 to Warrenane 4-9 up at Swan Hill.
Good game in that one. Does it make it frustrating as a fellow forward, Josh, when you see someone like Lockie Sharp just make it look that easy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you know it's not.
Oh, no, it's not. Those big sticks here at the QEO scare me.
They're very big sticks. Lockie Sharp has no trouble finding the middle of them. Chrome from the middle wins it down. Going through the pack there was Callan Geary. Crone was dived in on top of it as well. And nothing coming out. Jack Geary picks himself up off the ground.
Probably someone I don't want to be under is Big Harry Crone.
Yes, I'm thinking so. He's a large lump of a lad. He goes up in the ruck there, outpoints Compston, wins it down for his side. Shoveled out of the contest by Donegan for the Dogs, who then got it back. Released a handball out wide and found Sean Young to a hard-running Jack Geary, who takes a bounce, goes inside the forward 50, kick skews off the side of the boot towards Thrum on the left boot from the scoreboard pocket.
Wow.
Jake Thrum has put it across the face.
Morecambe's marked it.
And is it a mark to Hamish Morecambe? I reckon John Norton thinks it isn't, and he's just bringing the boundary and the goal umpire in for a conference. They looked like they were happy with it.
Yes.
And no, it's over the line.
Oh, he's overruled.
I thought John Norton looked like he thought that was over the line all the way.
Well,
from
they were in the best position.
From here, it looked like it probably was too. So the Storm bring it back in. They lead, or they trail by 4 points, but only as far as Marciano, who's got it for the Dogs.
So Marciano, been out for a couple of weeks with a little injury. Toe poke inside, not good. Storm win it back. Work to Bonnie. Bonnie throws it on the boot. High to the centre of the ground. They've got to wait under it. No one judged it properly. Loose ball squirts out. Kieran takes it. Gee, they got rid of him. It's picked up by Geary. He's tackled to the ground, and the umpire comes in and balled it up. Well, Zane Kieran had the footy 1 minute and came out of the pack sideways in a real hurry.
Didn't have it after that.
Ball up, Compston over the top. Did he get it down? Maybe he did. Finds a teammate, Welsh, who runs a little distance, goes to Young, just can't take the mark, gets it on the bounce, throws it on the boot, Dogs inside forward 50. Nobody can take it cleanly. Now the Storm defence, stand up okay, worked out wide. That was from Formosa. He's found a teammate. They go down the wing, out of side. It'll be turned over. Long hand pass back. Dogs have got it at half-back. In trouble. Maybe. No, they're not. Taken by Dorrington. He goes to the centre of the ground. Couldn't find a teammate. Storm win it back. Little toe poke towards the wing, grandstand side. Target down there was missed. It was Wallace. Play on the call. Worked over towards Donnan. Donnan's got it. Outside forward 50. Passed in borders. Good. And the Storm will have a shot on goal. 45 out. Stringer's got it. Tough angle. He's almost on the boundary line. Series of hand passes and little plays by Storm. They worked it up towards the forward pocket.
It was hard work though.
Right goal post here, Jock.
So Brad Stringer has
aimed it at the left point.
absolutely not
taken my advice.
Not listened to you at all.
No.
And he's just squeezed it through for a minor score. So the Storm go to 5-6-36. The Dogs are 6-3-39. 3-point ball game. Preliminary final second quarter. 19 minutes gone.
So Zane Kieran, those horrible orange boots, brings the ball back into play and has stepped on the line. And now he and Sharp have a few words, and young Zane's not one to be backwards in coming forward, and neither's Lockie Sharp. The umpire's just watching on proceedings as they bump and shove and really don't do anything of any interest. So Kieran stepped on the line and Lockie Sharp was onto it straight away. So top of the goal square for the Storm. We will have a ball up. Compston wins it down. Crone in the area. Hauls out the back. Formosa's there as well. Through the traffic. Handball. Got it to heavy side. Had it taken from him by Geary, who put his head over it. And the football was locked up. And in the forward pocket, Storm still deep into attack. We'll have a ball up. 3 points the margin. 20 gone in this second term. Just ticked into time on. This time Crone goes up again in the ruck. Another good tackle laid by Walters for the Dogs. Still inside forward 50 for Strathfield Say. Another ball up.
Tell you what, it's just in all these finals we've had, everybody on the ground seems to play in one half of the ground. Then it goes down the other end. They all go down that end of the ground. Nobody keeps position much, do they? Ball hit.
Modern day footy.
Is it?
Hunting
Everyone's
of
on
the ball.
Ball's hit over the line and out of bounds, and they'll be thrown back into play right on forward 50 for Storm.
Probably why we've seen so many stoppages as well. There's just so many numbers around the footy.
Yeah, hard to find space from the ball up. Hits the deck, huge pack develops, anybody can squirt it out. Good luck in that. Melee, and the umpire comes in again and we'll ball it up in the same spot.
Just looking at here, boy, there's no traditional full forward here today, is there? The 50 is completely cleared down the other end.
Somebody might have snuck down over the other side from under a peppercorn tree, I reckon. Meanwhile, have another ball up and another pack developed and in the same spot, which is just outside forward 50 for Storm. The umpire will ball it up again.
Big throng of Golden Square supporters in front of the visiting change rooms here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Crone on the second grab. Did he hold Compston out of the ruck contest? No, in fact, he was held out of it. And so a free kick will go to Harry Crone, who releases the handball to Shannon Geary, who throws it on the boot, kicks it high towards the top of the goal square. Kieran, a massive fist, goes straight up in the air, so he butted up his own work. It came to Fergus Payne, who snapped on goal, a bouncing ball. Bounces away to the left. It took a leg break. It needed the off.
Was exciting off the boot.
5-7-37 Strathfield Say. 6-3-39 Golden Square. 22 gone, second term of the preliminary final at the Queen Elizabeth Oval on Bendigo's Fresh FM, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
So Dorrington clears defensive 50 with the kick out. Finds a teammate who's lost it in a tackle. Dogs in trouble as the Storm get numbers to the contest. Big Harry's there, takes it. They take him. The umpire comes in and will ball it up again.
Who's laying on the ground there for Strathfield Say? He doesn't
Brad
look very
Stringer.
well. Stringer, is it?
Yep.
Okay.
No one's even cared, have they? Oh, no, yeah, now the trainers arrived.
Yes.
If this was the old days and the umpires had to ball it up, like bounce it every time, boy, how would they be going in the shoulders by now? Up they go this time. Crone went through, got a tap down, couldn't find a teammate. Another pack develops. Once a player takes it, they tackle him so quickly, he's just got no time to do anything, so the umpire has no choice but to ball it up again. Still on forward 50. Crone, tap over the top, thrown on the boot quickly by the square Walters, gets it to the wing on the outer side. No one could take the mark, but the Dogs have got the numbers. Little kick in borders, good. Taken by Welsh. Welsh marks, plays on. They work it inside forward 50. Donegan, is it?
Yes, it is.
Mark taken. 40 out on his own. Plays on. Finds a teammate loose, and the mark is taken. Tommy Toma. Oh, 16
Marciano. Is it?
Marciano.
Sorry.
Rocky has taken it. 38. He didn't turn around. 35 for Tommy. So Rocky Mark has taken it 15 metres out on a slight angle. Seen the kid 2 or 3 times this year. He's been good.
Yep.
He's been effective up forward, and he's normally pretty reliable. Comes in, fires at goal. Goal umpire doesn't move, and the Dogs get one back. So it's Golden Square maintaining their lead at the moment. They're 7-3-45. The Storm are 5-7-37. 24-minute mark of the second term. Thanks to Choices Flooring, Bendigo Bulk Carpets.
It's a bit of a turnaround of plays, boys. Strathfield Say dominating the centre of the ground in the first quarter, and Golden Square doing the same now, and Strathfield Say trying to work it around the wings. So complete different games, Joel.
And I'd say that Golden Square would be happy with that, because in the transition, Dorrington actually made Callan Geary accountable and then made him man him up. So I reckon they'd be pretty happy with how they moved the ball then. Golden Square back in the middle. Rosengren this time went up in the ruck. Bit of a change of scenery for young Geordie. Oh, he was run down by Lockie Wallace.
Too slow.
It
a
was
final,
all
son.
a bit unfamiliar.
Yeah, it's a final.
And Lockie Wallace from the centre of the ground will pump it inside forward 50 on the right boot. Conway with the sit, too easy. That is too easy. You cannot let Harry Conway have a run at the football, and he will go back from 48 metres out, kick from the 50, and try and find his third, not only of the game, but of the quarter.
Too tall. You can't let a tall bloke like that get a big run at it.
He's a thumping kick of the footy, is young Harry. From 52 metres out, it starts right. It will not come back. It'll sit up at the top of the square. If they can find a crummer, that'd be good. Geary was there. Sharp was there. Two likely customers. Road paddled it out for the Storm. 30 metres out from their goal. Lowry puts his head over it for the Dogs. Tried to shovel it back toward the defensive goal and gain some territory. Eventually, Shannon Geary put his head over it, and a ball up in the right forward pocket is the result.
So, the traffic is all down the Storm end in the forward pocket, waiting for the umpire to ball it up. And he does. 20 metres out, up they go. Dead heat. These are the times when sometimes it can just squirt out of a pack.
Well, we've seen it happen earlier, Jock.
Well, they've got someone back goal side at least this time. So the umpire will ball it up again. 20 metres out from the Storm goal. Deep in the pocket. Plenty jump. No one could take it effectively. Geary got it. Might have slipped as he went to kick it. Another kick taken by a Storm player was smothered. Another pack develops. And the umpire balled it up again. Same spot. Forward pocket. Barnard Street end. 26 minutes gone. Second term. It is the Storm trailing Square by 8 points.
Crone goes up in the ruck for the Storm. Wins it down toward Jake Hall. Working hard over there. Might have been Ferg Payne who was up against the boundary. Donnan, in fact, it was. And another ball in. This time a ball in at least, so it's not just going to go straight up and down in the one spot.
That's changed.
This'll do. Right forward pocket. Square by 8 points as we tick towards half-time in this preliminary final. Geary puts his head over it. Tackled by Anderson. Ball squirts out the back toward Donnan. Free kick coming to the Storm. Free kick will come to Strathfield Say, and Jake Hall will take it.
Now he's down that end.
25 metres out is the man on the mark. Hall will go back on a slight angle to the right and kick to bring the margin back to 2 points. So from all those stoppages, the Storm get the opportunity. And Jake Hall needs to take it. He'll kick from 30. On the right boot, Hall stabs at it and misses. Gee whiz.
I even picked my pen up.
5-8-38, Strathfield Say. 7-3-45. 13 scoring shots, plays 10. 7-point lead to the Dogs. 27.5 gone. Second term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM. We take you inside local finals footy every week.
Blown a few chances. Storm Dorrington's kick-out's a monster. Have a look at that. That's what you want to do in defence. It bounces and goes almost to the wing outer side, but the Storm win it back. Worked in board to Smith. He goes wide. Got it to a teammate. Taken by Sheehan. Sheehan gets it back inside forward 50. Storm mark. 35 out. Slightest of angles. And a shot on goal.
Lockie Wallace.
How good was that?
Yeah, he's a gun.
Big pack.
He's a gun, this kid. Absolute jet.
Know nothing about him. Who is he? Tell us something about him.
He played school footy for CCB earlier in the year and was best on ground by a mile. Plays Pioneers. Just a strong-bodied, hard-running mid.
30 metres out, slightest of angle, and Wallace has kicked a goal for the Storm.
And a bit of a goal kicker too.
How many senior games would he have played for Storm this year?
Would have played 4 or 5, I reckon.
Righto. So Golden Square maintain their lead by the barest of margins. They're 7-3-45. Storm 6-8-44. Point the difference, 28 gone, almost half-time in the prelim final.
Definitely in the dying minutes of the second quarter, Jock. Wallace kicking that last one. Geez, he flew high then, Joel, didn't he? And a goal that they definitely needed going into half-time.
Yep, he attacks the footy really, really hard, Lockie Wallace, and been a product of their under-18s and a very, very talented young player and showed it there. Point the margins. So Dogs come forward. It's worked back for the Storm, though. Picked up on the outer side by Moorhead to Geary. Dangerous kick into the centre of the ground. Put heavy side under pressure. Adam Baird down on him. And picked up by Morecambe for the Dogs, who goes inside forward 50. Donaldson leads the race. Got on the right boot as he fell out of bounds. That's a tremendous
great
kick from
work.
JD.
Yep.
Really good chase. Busted his gut to get there and found Fergus Payne at half-back, who's going to chip short and find Moorhead.
Yeah, to find the target under the pressure he was under was good. Moorhead across the ground, finds a teammate. Storm have got it at half-back. They come down the wing. Grandstand side. Oh, Conway out in front. Dropped what he should have taken. Now he's got to try and dance around the trouble. Can he? Well, he gets a kick into the centre of the ground. Might be turned over. Jack Geary's there for the Dogs. Hand pass out the back was good to Dorrington. Stole Baird into trouble. Could he get out of it? He couldn't. Tackled. Lost the football. Dogs turned it over at half forward for the Storm. Quick kick to be taken down there by Wallace. He goes long. Who wanted Sharp? He couldn't take the mark. 2 to beat. Ball squirts out. Compston's got it. Hand pass was too slick for his teammate. Falconed him. Now it's still loose in the forward pocket for the Storm. But the Dogs numbers out of defence. They run out of the defensive 50 and go down the wing. Out of side. Johnson the target. Caught behind. Wants support. Young arrives. Got it to Jack Geary. Missed the target. Storm take it back. Wobble it to half forward. Coming out. Dorrington meets it. Got a teammate. Clearly into trouble. Hand pass to Jack Geary, who was tackled. And the umpire has said,
Give it to me.
oh, no prior opportunity. Let off for the Dogs. Ball up. Half forward for the Storm.
31 gone in this term. Donegan getting into Sheehan as well. 2 little agitators there. Mostly Harry, to be perfectly honest, who's absolutely giving it to Jem Sheehan. And a ball up. Still across half forward. Strathfield say into attack. They trail by a point as we tick past the 31-minute mark in this term. Compston slaps it down. Smith goes inside forward 50 for the Storm. Rode wanted a free kick and decided he'd appeal to the umpire instead of trying to get the football. Generally doesn't work all that well. Co-tracked it toward the boundary line. Lockie Sharp appealed for deliberate. It was out of bounds. It'll be thrown back in the right half forward.
Love the way they appeal for that uphill. Although
Yeah.
we did see one, didn't we see one paid last week or the
they
week
can
before?
pay it, but the interpretation just isn't anywhere near as strict.
No, it's rare.
They never
Up
do.
here.
Common sense rules today.
Throw in inside forward 50 for the Storm. Pack develops. And the umpire will ball it up again about 40 metres out from their goal. 31, nearly 32 minutes gone, second terms. Golden Square by a point. Ripper preliminary final so far. 2 good sides having a fair crack from the Storm. Oh, it's worked out to Sharp. Throw it on the boot. How did he do that, Lockie Sharp? And it is just touched on the line. Well, I didn't say it was a goal. I just said, how did he do that? Because he had no time or space. Threw it on the boot so quickly. And at half-time, boys, scores are level. 6-9-45 Strat Storm. 7-3-45 Golden Square. Each of 2. Can't pick them. Fair game.
Cracking preliminary final here at the home of country football. 45 apiece. As Jock said, Golden Square 7-3. Strathfield say are 6-9. Really, really good opening half of footy, Josh McKee.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The pressure from both sides has been immense. I think that they're both trying to play a similar game now, which is we've seen a lot of this play probably in the pocket and in the poolside pocket. Probably 10 minutes of play. I think Jock was in that far pocket.
Yep, absolutely.
Great tackling pressure.
Yeah.
The amount of ball ups I think was probably 20 in that quarter.
Well,
It's immense.
there's been so many stoppages, so important that you're winning your share.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's half time here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. They cannot be split. 45 apiece, Strathfield say, and Golden Square. In the North Central Footy League, Birchip Watcham lead by 8 points over Witchyproof. Now report in the MCDFNL.
And Harry Conway got a couple each. Hamish Morecambe's got 3 and Harry Donegan a couple.
Dean Goodridge holds the ball aloft. Second half underway. As we were at the start of the first half, they can't be split. 45 apiece, Golden Square and the Storm in the prelim.
There's only 2 quarters left in the season for one of these 2 sides. From the ball up, it's the Dogs who take it, 20 metres their way maybe. And the umpire calls another stoppage. And we will have a ball up. Well, the third quarter underway. Terrific sunlight, good crowd in, 2 good sides. It is up to them from the centre of the ground. Work to Smith, he couldn't take it. Gets it back, hand pass over the top, wants Formosa. Clever little tap off the ground with his boot. Goes towards half forward for the Storm. Square player down there might be the bottom of the pack.
Skinny Baird.
Skinny Baird, got one in the back, said the umpire. Skinny gets up at half back to take the kick. He's been playing on ball or forward, Skinny. And it looks like he's having a run on the ball from just outside defensive 50. goes long, down the line, out of side. Ball carries the pack over the top. Storm with numbers back there. Chance for Leicester. Dishes out the hand pass, finds a teammate, then under the pump they have to kick down the wing out of side. And the mark is taken. No, not paid, or has it got to go back?
Got to go back.
So the mark was taken, attempted play on, and the Storm will take it from the wing on the outer side.
It's Formosa who's got the footy. Kicks up the line. Harvey couldn't mark through his hands over the line, out of bounds throw in. Around the grounds, MCDFNL, time on in the last. Carisbrook lead Navarre by 20 points in the MCDFNL Grand Final. Three-quarter time in the North Central. Birchip 7-7-49 lead. Witcherproof Narraport 5-6-36. So 13 points in that game at three-quarter time. Kick clear of the pack from Toma. Goes up the wing where Morecambe fists it over the boundary line and then gives a little one to Jack Nayland, and a free kick will go to the Strathfield Say Storm as Nayland goes to turf.
That was dumb.
It's silly. Very, very silly.
Particularly smart from young Hammer, who's probably, to be perfectly honest, maybe a little bit better than that. 45 apiece. 2 minutes gone, third term of this preliminary final in Bendigo football for season 2017 on Bendigo's Fresh FM, and it is thanks to Aussie Disposals.
So Nayland, took him a while to get set. Now he kicks it, kicks long to half forward, plenty up. No one can take the mark. Hand pass squirts out the back to Dorrington. Wants some support. Gets it from Kieran. Threw it on the boot. Only gained about 20 metres. It's still across half forward for the Storm. It's kicked down the wing. Came out of the pack. Crone's there. Couldn't take the mark. Wanted some support. Got it. Now it's a chance for the Storm. High kick. Centre of the ground. Races on. Contest. Two players with courage. Got there at the same time. Crumb by Captain Jack. Got it to half forward. Donegan takes it. Plays on. Fires at goal. And kicks a point. The margin out to a point in favour of Square. They're 7-4-46. Storm are 6-9-45. 3 minutes gone. Third term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
Donaldson thumps it outside the defensive 50, but a terrific mark taken by Toma for the Dogs on the front point of the square. So he'll drive it back inside the forward 50. With 1 point separating these two sides, as you heard Jock Clark say, Toma goes short to Kieran. Between wing and half forward on the outer side of the ground. Kieran looks up, kicks inside the forward 50. Johnston from the side. Rosengren came in as well. Splitting them was Donaldson, who stood up and took an uncontested mark, and handballs to Harvey, who runs across the defensive goal face, kicks outside to the defensive 50 towards Conway, but Geary floated in front of him, and Captain Jack's got the football at left half forward for the Dogs. Looks for an option, can't find much that he likes.
So crowded.
Gets back on the right boot and drives a low ball to the top of the square. Johnston up, and another terrific mark from Donaldson. Read it beautifully. And marks at the top of the defensive goal square for the Storm and repels another attack.
Well, Johnston needs to do better than that. And now there's a little pass from the Storm. Could have been 50,
That was
the boys
clumsy.
thought, but it's not. So the Storm have got it. Last line of defence. Kicked wide to the outer side. Storm mark. And they play on. Now they've got some space. Build through the wing outer side. They can. Sharp, the target out in front, takes the mark. Plays on in front of Anderson. Little toe poke. Can he find road? Just couldn't mark it in time. Now a chance for the Dogs to get out of trouble. They clear to half back. Thrum takes it. Wants support. Gets it. Down there it's Welsh. Gets around his opponent. Wobbly kick to the centre of the ground. Not good. Ball in dispute. Chance for the Storm to win it back. It'll be taken by Formosa. Got out a hand pass. They work it inside forward 50. Sharp in front takes the mark. Thought of playing on. And now we'll go back and have a shot. Gee, they blew a couple of chances to get out of trouble there, Square. And they've got it back to Lockie Sharp, who'll have a shot from 48 metres out on the slightest of angles. Won't make the distance. Mark in the square to Storm.
Road. Is it?
Yep.
Fantastic mark. Just read it beautifully, Jock.
There was a lot of numbers in that marking contest.
A lot of blokes flew very early.
And he was
Didn't
the
judge
only one
ball.
that looked like getting his hands on it.
Watched it the whole way into his mitts.
Well, he's played very little senior footy this year. And that is a telling possession. Great mark, goal, and the Storm have hit the front.
Yes, they go 7-9, 51 to 7-4, 46, Jock.
A 5-point ball game, 6 minutes gone, third term, thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
Do you get the sense that either side's particularly on top at the moment, Josh?
No, I think, look, Golden Square probably have a slight advantage, I think. Maybe a little bit of wind, but I don't really believe any dominating at this point.
And the final score from the MCDFNL Grand Final for 2017, Navarre's run has been ended by Carisbrook, 11-7. The Redbacks, 7-11, the Hoppers. So, a terrific win for Carisbrook, who, well, not only do they break Navarre's streak of winning them, but they break their own streak of losing them. Back in the centre, Toma, out of the middle, kicks to half forward for the Dogs. Lovely ball finds Tracy, who's at half forward, 70 metres out from goal. Into the forward pocket, Rosengren the target, third in line, couldn't mark, ball came to ground. He laid a good tackle to Geordie Rosengren. Umpire says, give it to me, ball up, 35 out from the square goal.
It was a great takeout from the centre for the square.
It was clean, wasn't it?
Now they need to capitalise.
Just can't find much inside the 50.
Like Jock said before, very crowded.
Up they go. Tap out, went straight to Geary, but he just got it and was tackled immediately, Captain Jack. Can't do anything about it. The umpire ball it up. Still 35 metres out from the square goal.
I don't know why they haven't got Dylan Johnson. Is he injured or not? Because they need him down there now.
Where is he?
He's on the bench. He's on the pine.
So why would you be benched 6 minutes into the third term?
Why would you have your biggest forward on the bench?
Disciplinary reason, maybe?
I don't know.
Didn't compete in the last couple of marking contests. Ball up, 40 out from the Dogs' goal. Storm player takes it, throws it on the boot, finds a teammate. Lucky mark, just inside defensive 50. So they've got it, and they'll go wide, worked over there towards the wing. Out of side. Back in board to Bonnie. Bonnie back on defensive 50 for the Storm. Goes back to the wing. Kick to kick for the Storm. Looking for a way forward. Still a long way from home. They'll lead 5 points early in the third term. Plenty of time taken. Then the kick's an absolute beauty. Mark taken on the wing out of sight. Who's that?
Fergus Payne.
Fergus Payne wearing number 3.
Yep.
Was 30.
Yes.
Decide to drop the...
Significant upgrade.
It's big upgrade. Goes long towards half forward. Up they go. Wallace flew high for it. Couldn't bring it down for the Storm, and it's off hands and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Must be in 10 bits. He's divided himself by 10.
He thought if he went from 30 to 3, all he's do is got to get a black texter and texter out all the O's
Well, possibly.
on his jumpers.
It's a big ask. Ball thrown back in. Crone goes through the contest. Got it out to Donnan, who jams it on the boot toward half forward. There he is. Fergus Payne. The three's going all right for him so far. Inside the 50 for Road. Knocked down. Kieran was there. Got it to Hall, to Heaviside, who sees an open goal. Sharp running back into it, and he marks.
Between 3 square defenders.
He judged it perfectly. Lockie Sharp's got the football. Top of the goal square. He will go back. He will kick his third and give the Storm an 11-point lead. On the left boot, as you'd expect, he makes no mistake. Sharp's got 3 and 141 on the season, and the Storm lead by 11 points. 9.5 gone in this third term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Josh McKee.
Daryl Wilson making the change, putting Jake Hall on the wing by the looks of it, and he's been floating across that half back and half forward, and I think he's been quite important in this first 9 minutes of the quarter. But Sharp, just smart, isn't he? He's just real smart.
Well, he shook his direct opponent, Clayton Anderson, marked between 3 square defenders. It wasn't all that flash a defensive exercise.
It's not an easy job to shake Anderson, is it? We've seen over the last few years.
No. Certainly one of the league's toughest defenders. Ball up, centre of the ground. Up they go. Crone won it down. Formosa took it, got it to a teammate. They're out of the middle again. The Storm towards half forward. Chance for the Dogs back there. Taken by Dalrymple. Gets through some traffic. Wobbly kick to the middle of the ground. Taken by Donegan. Oh, the kick on the right foot. Well done, Harry.
Inside
finds
that barrel.
Tracy. Yeah, exactly. He's gets some support. Here come the Dogs. Long. Inside forward 50. Up they go. No one could complete the mark. Over the back. The Storm defence with numbers. And they'll clear wide and long to half-back out of side. Good kick. and they're starting to find their range and their targets, the Storm.
Yep.
And that probably is the difference at the moment.
It really crisp link-up play. Stringer's kick,
Except for
though,
that.
was
Except
battered
for
down
that.
on the mark by Dorrington. Spills to Harvey for the Storm. Picked up, though, by Much, who handballed around the corner. Lovely work, the Dogs. Tracy to Lowry. Lowry's hemmed in, tackle, gone.
Poor hand pass.
The pressure is
Yeah.
still ramped up from Strathfield, say. And Nayland takes the free kick across half-back, slams it on the boot and releases Sheehan on the back point of the square. Jam Sheehan is off. He kicks up the line. It's a horrible ball cut off by Dalrymple. Dalrymple to Thrum, who's going to basically kick to himself. He did. He ran onto his own footy. He tumbled it inside the forward 50. Rosengren picks it up at his knees, centres it up, looking for Donegan. Bonnie, good grab, and then Donegan's been absolutely thumped by his own teammate in Morecambe, who came flying over the top of him.
not
Meanwhile, Rhodes got the footy for the Storm. He's handballed it out to Conway and Moorhead. Moorhead up the line for Wallace, who couldn't keep it in. Over the line and out of bounds it goes. And we'll have a ball in right in front of us. 11-point lead to the Storm. 12 gone, third term, thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where we take you inside local footy every weekend. And now a free kick,
Yep.
and it'll come to the Storm.
That's
Harry
unbelievable. Nah, the umpire completely got that wrong. They dragged Jack Geary down, and he saw the retaliation. Ordinary ball kicked inside forward 50 off hands over and out of bounds.
Just quickly, Jock, 3/4 time in the North Central. Birchup 7-7-49 to Witchy Proof 5-6-36.
13 points, quarter to go. Witchy on a knife edge. Throw in inside forward 50 for the Storm. Thompson tapped down towards Welsh, couldn't take it. Storm player did, locked up in a tackle. Umpire balled it up just on the forward 50.
Another goal to Witchy, 6 points the margin in that one.
Ending up.
Jack Geary after the ground, all over him. The umpire balled it up again. Storm have really ramped up the pressure, Josh, I think.
Which they needed to.
And I wouldn't say that we're on wobbly legs, but they probably need another one to stay in from the ball up. Chance down there for I think it might have been Walters. Right on defence.
No goals on the day. Balls. Walters kicks outside the defensive 50 off for the Demons, in fact. He's
playing
probably- Dalrymple's cut off by Donaldson and well smothered by Johnston, and then Johnston's had gone and had a go at him. And it'll be thrown back into play on the grandstand wing. Not really sure what all that was about.
Get a bit fiery here, boys. I love
I'd
it.
really like to see Johnston and JD. Good big rhinos fighting in the savannah.
Yeah, it would be.
11-point margin. Dogs come inside the forward 50, and there is Donaldson, who's actually done the work to get to the football, unlike his opponent. This time Nayland gets on the left boot, gets it outside the defensive 50. Lovely kick. Harvey, who's been brilliant this afternoon, he has covered massive amounts of ground, has marked on the outer side between wing and half-back for the Storm.
That first kick out of defensive 50, the last 4 times this quarter, Storm have found a target. So now it's worked down the wing outer side. Square a chance to turn it over. Can they get it to Young? They can. Hand pass inside. Worked over to Skinny Baird. He goes towards full forward. 2-on-1. Storm with the numbers down there. And they'll get out of trouble. It's worked to Hall. Hall through defensive 50. Wants Conway on the wing grandstand side. Great kick and finds his target.
So Conway down the line. Geary the target at half forward. Runs onto it. Shannon Geary. Lovely kick for Sharp.
Very, very well worked.
You will not stop that. Geary ran onto it at half forward from the long ball down the wing from Conway. Sharp's marked 35 metres out. Quickly turns at the top of his mark. Left foot kick and goal. 17 points the margin for The Stratfield say Storm. Lockie Sharp's got 4. They are 9-9-63. The Storm. Golden Square a 7-4-46. 15.5 gone third term thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM. In this term, the Storm 3 goals straight, Josh. Golden Square 1 behind.
Yeah, it's got a bit of work to do, the Square, but that was a little bit like deja vu, Joel. Geary, again, just waiting for Sharp, like he did in the first quarter from pretty much the same position, actually. Just waited for his mate, and, beautiful kick.
Ball up centre of the ground. The umpire's picked out a free kick. It'll go to Jack Geary for the Square. So Captain Jack goes long towards half forward. It's where they've been poor. And that was another poor entry. Mark to the Storm right on defensive 50. Easy if you like. Got numbers wide. Geary. And finds a teammate who's marked just on defensive 50. Out of sight of the ground. So the Storm just settling it down, playing it at their tempo at the moment. Now long kick towards the wing, out of side. Compston up high, takes a good mark, wants to play on, does, hand pass off, again the Square, back to half forward. Now an opportunity over the back. Can they find a teammate and a mark inside? They can. Mark has been taken. Is that Rosengren?
Yeah, it
with
is.
the footy.
Beautiful kick.
Gee, he had
Donegan.
space. First time for the game, I reckon he had space.
Awkward for Donnan, wasn't it? Who was the last man there and had 2 Square defenders to choose from. He had one in the goal square and Rosengren hit up and he was really caught in no man's land. The impossible situation for
Because they actually moved it in quicker than normal. So Rosengren, Jordan, boy, do they need this. Golden Square comes in from 40 metres out on an angle, kicks a point.
Geez, they needed that, Jock.
Yeah, he couldn't deliver. Storm a 9-9-63, Square a 7-47, 17 gone, third term, thanks to Aussie Disposals.
So the Storm will bring it back into play. They kick long up the guts. Great kick. Lovely delivery from Sheehan to Geary. 2 likely customers and now Payne, defensive side of the outer wing. Had Geary running on between wing and half forward. And Golden Square have bottled it up a little bit. Now goes to Shannon Geary, who led hard. Good work rate from Geary. Just attacking side of the wing. Chips it over the top toward Road. Did he keep it in? Only just. Tiptoe stuff for Brad Road, who's been solid in his return to senior footy. Goes inside the forward 50. Morecambe, another towering mark. Just as you'd expect from Hamish Morecambe. Marks at half-back, handball off to Much, who's off and running. Kicks an awkward ball down the outer side wing. It's thumped across the boundary line by Donnan, who outpointed Rosengren. And a ball in. Centre wing, outer side of the ground. 18 gone, third term. Stratfield say 9-9. Golden Square 7-5. The margin is 16 points as we tick towards three-quarter time. In the Central Murray Footy League Grand Final, Kerrang by 3 straight kicks over Wooronneen. That's the three-quarter time score.
Throw in on the wing, outer side. The tap off the ground, goes towards half forward for Storm. Dangerous here for the Square. Pack develops, and the umpire is going to ball it off. Where's Morecambe playing?
I think he's sort of floating between centre half forward and centre half back. But
surely you need his marking potential up across half forward, where they've fallen down time and again. Ball up, half forward for Storm. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Tough to get a possession. Oh, somehow he does. Formosa picks it up, comes out of the pack and gives it to Stringer, who marks right on forward 50. Wastes no time. Little pass, cut off. Loose ball, chance for Tamer in the back pocket. Gets through the traffic. Goes back towards half forward. No one can take the mark. Storm have set up a wall though. They got numbers. They'll come straight back towards half forward. Little kick. Beat everybody. Big Compston. He couldn't trap it. It's right on forward 50. Pack develops. Umpire comes in to ball it up again. 9-9-63 the Storm. 7-5-47 the Bulldogs. 19.5 gone. Third quarter. Thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage.
By the looks of it, Morecambe is going with Geary.
As the high kick inside forward 50 is marked by Road, but it was a push out, and so free kick will be taken by Jonathan Coe on the last line for the Dogs, and kicks inside defensive 50 to Dorrington, whose kick might have been smothered from Sharp. If not, it's a mark for the Storm. It's the latter. It's skewed off the side of the boot. Sharp applied the pressure and probably just had a word to Dorrington about that too. Kick's been marked by Moorhead, 45 out, slight angle to the right. And Jake Moorhead is a good kick. 8 goals on the season. From 48 metres out, he comes in. It's an absolute helicopter road. Big fly, no mark off hands behind. 9:10:64, Strathfield say. 7:5:47, Golden Square. 20 and a half gone in this third term. Thanks to Bendigo Bulk Carpets, Choices Flooring. On Bendigo's Fresh FM, we take you inside local finals footy every single week, as we are today with 4 massive games of finals footy.
Kick to a contest just outside forward 50. Storm. No, it's the Dogs with a chance to Donegan. Centre of the ground. Hand off to Lowry. Lowry wobbles it to half forward. Poor kick. Gave his teammates no chance. Donaldson takes it. Dishes out a hand pass. Goes back and gets it, big JD. And kicks to the wing on the outer side. And spots up a teammate. Storm again. From a thwarted square attack, they turn defence into attack. They've got it just outside forward 50. Chance for Geary. Picks up. Kicks in board. Road. One-on-one contest. Couldn't complete the mark. Young's there. Got it to Toma. Toma goes short. Taken by Welsh. Welsh for the Dogs to the wing outer side. And big Dylan Johnston has materialised and taken the mark on the wing.
Yes, he's a long way up the ground. He wants to come back and maybe try and buy some time to get back inside the forward 50. Goes to Much, defensive side of the wing. Chips short and finds Toma. Toma's off through the centre of the ground. Handball to Thrum. He fumbled momentarily. He was under lots of pressure. And now a free kick coming back to Tom Toma. Has he pinged him for a throw?
No.
Can't have been anything but.
I think he's going to play it. It's a Storm kick, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
2 players are down. There's a lot of claret coming from the head of one of them there in the centre. So there's clearly been a head clash in the centre of the ground. Lockie Sharp's one of them.
What's he doing up there?
And the other player who has got blood everywhere, is it Jake Moorhead? It is. So Moorhead is still down. Lockie Sharp's just getting up and walking away from the contest, just with Sam Heaviside making sure he's okay. And now Moorhead is being brought from the ground with a cut to the right side of his face, near his eye, and has a lot of claret that he's getting on that jumper. So Jake Moorhead will be out of the number 10 for the foreseeable future. Lockie Sharp is coming off the ground as well, or at least coming to the bench. So a halt in play while the Storm bring Moorhead off. Conway comes on for him and doesn't have to wait for him to get to the bench. Meanwhile, 23 gone third term. 17 points is the lead here of Strathfield Say. Nearly underway again, Josh.
Just while we've got the stop in play, Birchup 7-9-51 to Witchy 8-8-56 in the North Central Abort.
5-point lead to Witcher-Proof now.
Whoa.
Moorhead off the ground. Play to resume. At centre half back for the Storm. Trent Donnan's got the football. He chips it towards half forward and Road, who flew among a pack, couldn't rein it in. And then the 2 number 1s, who are varying sizes, it'd be fair to say, in Road and Anderson, go at it. And now there's a little bit of spite in the game. Donegan dived in on Road, and now they all dive in on Brad Road at half forward for Strathfield Say.
Bit of push and shove.
Road pushes himself away from Coe, and so does Stringer. Nothing materialises, and a ball up. At centre half forward, Storm into attack. They lead by 17 points, 24 gone third term.
Not sure about the spark for Golden Square. Taken by Jack Geary. Got his boot to the ball just as he was flung, and the ball squirts out towards the wing outer side where the chase is on. Conway will get there first. Just gets around a little bit of pressure. Got out a hand pass. Got it back. Gives it back. Then the kick into the centre of the ground. Can't find a teammate at the back. Big Crone. Lays a tackle on Donegan. Had him. He was gone. Weak to Young, though. Young gets it out. It's turned over. Taken down there by a Storm player who's caught with the footy. And
Jake Hall.
it is, yes, a Golden Square free kick, centre of the ground.
Morecambe, he's the everywhere man. He's a good tackler.
You get the feeling, though, they just need something, a spark,
Well, they
square,
clearly don't think they've got anything to kick to, which is why every time at half forward they
They
kick
go
it backward.
backwards.
So they just don't have a target. Johnston lumbers into the forward pocket now, but Lowry's 75 metres out from goal. He looks it up and finds there's a good target. Jack Geary. Jack Geary will get 50. Has to. Will. Free kick.
Yes.
Jack Geary, top of the goal square, and Dorrington's run through a Storm player.
Gee.
Braden Dorrington's come flying in off the back, and that is stupid because
Why
he
would
couldn't
you-
cost his side the ball at the top of the goal square.
Oh, if that had been turned over, Bernie Haveman would have absolutely send him to North Korea.
Meanwhile, Geary has kicked the goal. The margin is back to 11 points. So Geary's first takes Golden Square to 8-5-53. Stratfield say 9-10-64. 25 and a half gone third term on Bendigo's Fresh FM. Thanks to Aussie Disposals on the boundary. John Hunter.
Yes, Joel. Jake Moorhead, it's a massive cut in the fleshy bit just above the eyebrow. So he'll be okay as long as they can stop the bleeding and just patch it up. He probably could come back on the ground when it's all fixed up.
Thanks, Johnny, on the boundary this afternoon. Absolutely rugged up in the shade. It's not all that warm this afternoon. 11 points the margin. Storm ahead. 26 gone third term.
Yep, closing on three-quarter time. Ball up, centre of the ground. Crone got it down. The take-out is what the Bulldogs want, though. Nobody can get it out. The pack develops and the umpire is going to ball it up again.
Fresh live North Central Footy League update. Rick Allen and Corey Jones have goaled Witchy-proof Narraport by 11 points. 62 plays 51 late in the last.
Can the Demons hang on? Can they fulfil the dreams? Meanwhile, a high kick to half forward for the Bulldogs. Punched away, chases on. First there, Callan Geary, close to the boundary line. Got a hand pass in, but the kick was poor. Coe attacks the contest. Then he lost it at the last minute. Squirts out to Harvey. Harvey from the wing. Grandstand side. Kicks to half forward. Mark taken down there by Thrum at half back for Golden Square.
So Jake Thrum's got it. 27 gone third term. Handball to Geary, and they're out on the outer side here, Golden Square. Geary finds Anderson. If he looked up, he would have seen Welch. He comes back into the corridor and finds Toma. Tom Toma's got it in the centre of the ground. Lovely kick to half forward. Lowry draws a teammate. Gets back on the right boot. Inside the 50, Rosengren. Donaldson should be paid another terrific defensive mark. Jeez, he's been good down there, JD.
Fantastic.
He was best for them last week. He switches across the goal face and finds Nayland. And Nayland's going to come out to the broadcast side for Hall, who wrestles with Lowry. Walters in from the back spot. Couldn't take it. Morecambe roved. Got it back to Walters, who goes inside the forward 50. Conway and Nayland spoiled each other. Again there to mop up the Storm defenders, though. They've got the options. It's brought out to Smith, who's got it 45 metres out from his defensive goal at left half-back. 11 points the margin. Storm ahead, closing in on three-quarter time of the prelim final.
Well, they have found a bit of spark, I reckon, Square at the moment. They've really upped the ante a bit. They're trying desperately to get one more before three-quarter time. Kick-in board's okay. Mark's taken by Nayland. So Nayland's got it. Half-back for the Storm. Just goes across the ground. Casually finds a teammate. So they're still right on defensive 50, the Storm. Won't matter. Three-quarter time in the prelim final. 11 points the margin in favour of Strath Storm. They're 9-10-64. Golden Square 8-5-53.
A cracking last quarter coming up. Cross half forward. Looked like they were falling over.
Yeah, they were, but look, I think it's going to be the forwards that really have to stand up here with Golden Square.
Last quarter underway of the preliminary final in season 2017. The Dogs come out of the middle through Adam Baird, who slams them inside the forward 50. Lester's got the headgear on. He tried to work it around the contest. Much right there with him. Callan Geary back of the pack. Little handball over the top to Donnan, who's worked into trouble. Strong enough to get out of it. You can see why they call him Truck, but his kick across defensive 50 was very, very dodgy. It ended up in the hands of Morecambe, who got it to Lowry, who got it to Baird, who fired on goal. Johnston in the pocket, yes!
Mark.
Paid the mark inside the field of play. He's gone careening into the fence, and Donaldson's down in the forward pocket.
Not looking good.
So those two have come together. Johnston's gone running off into the boundary fence, and he will take his kick right forward pocket. Not 15 out. He'll have to check side it in the Rifle Brigade pocket. He does, and he kicks the goal.
Fantastic. That's what they're going to have to do, Joel.
Oh,
Terrific finish, Dylan Johnston.
Dog's alive.
His first of the game, if you can believe it, at the 1 minute mark of the last quarter. And it's a 5-point margin. 9-5-59 Golden Square, 9-10-64 Stratfield say. That's thanks to Aussie Disposals on Bendigo's Fresh FM, Josh.
Just keeping an eye on JD, Joe Donaldson down there. He looks a bit sore. I don't know if it was his shoulder or his wrist, but he's still out there. He's on Johnson, but fantastic goal by Johnson. Geez, we've seen 2 of those snaps today.
Takeout so important back in the centre. Got down by Compston, and the Dogs go out of the middle, long through Lowry, inside forward 50, chase down, chance for Toma, turns on the 50, went in board, mark was missed, Chance down there for the Dogs, and they blew it. Now the Storm defence can get out of trouble. Worked wide over towards Kalangiri. He goes inboard, gives it to Heaviside. He goes long over the wing, out of side. One-on-one contest, all important. Dogs get some numbers across to help. They win it back on the wing. Grandstand side, kick towards half forward. Joel, what's going on?
Nah, all over in the North Central Footy League, Jock, which he premiers by 12 points.
Yes. Well done. Congrats. Well, nothing to do with you. You're only a hanger-on, right? It's your brother-in-law.
Yes.
Good on you.
The big ruckman.
Yeah, that's enough
Chrissy
to jump on the
Howgate.
bandwagon.
Howie.
Meanwhile, the ball's worked back into the centre here, where the umpire is going to ball it up. Well, they did their apprenticeship last year, losing to Charlton. They say you got to lose one to win one. They've won one. Good on the Witchy Demons. From the ball up, it's worked by the Storm towards half forward, out of side. Ball bounces over. Went over on the full. Penalty free kick. Dogs will take it at half back, and it will go to Jake Thrum.
Jake Moorhead, he's getting ready to come back on the ground in the number 16 Guernsey.
There you go. So Jake Heaviside not out there. It has to be worn by a Jake, I assume. That'll be in the contract for that particular number. So thanks to Johnny Hunter down on the boundary. Thrum, another Jake, brings it back into play for the Dogs. Kicks up the line. That's a good mark from Morecambe. He's been good today, Hamish Morecambe.
He has.
We know what a good player he is, but the last few weeks he has really been finding his best, even in those hideous green
He's taken
boots.
9 contested marks.
Yep.
That's fabulous.
Down the line, a tumbling ball. It was not a good kick, and Leicester's there to chop it off across half-back for the Storm. On the paint of the 50, he chips short and finds Kalangiri. 5 points the margin. 9-10 plays 9-5. 3.5 gone. Final term of the preliminary final here on Bendigo's Fresh FM, where we take you inside local footy finals every single week. Our commitment is unmatched and rolls on throughout the season. Dogs come back into the middle of the ground here. Lowry, handball to Adam Baird, goes deep inside the 50. Johnston, one hand, second grab, couldn't bring it down. Toma snaps around the body and missed. Away to the right, 4 points the split. Strath 64, Square 60, 4 gone last term.
Tell you what, Johnson almost got that second grab, didn't he? He's strong when he plants in front. Kick out okay. The mark is taken by Nayland for the Storm. Plays on, goes wide to the wing, out of side contest. No one could take it. Ball in dispute. Every contest so important. Squirts out. Chance down there for Heaviside. Takes it. Can't get through the traffic. Got it to Hall. He had to get rid of it. Still the Storm. They're trying to get around the traffic. Now they've turned it over. The Dogs get it back. Good tackle though. Sees it disputed again. Now the Dogs win it back. Taken and kicks inside forward 50. Johnson the target. Couldn't grab it. Donaldson can. Kicked it to Heaviside from just outside defensive 50. Unloads a monster. Down the wing out of side. Umpire's picked out a free kick.
Pushed him in the
And
back,
it'll
Jock.
go to Golden Square. Skinny Beard's got it on the wing on the outer side.
Oh, you gesture with two hands. A very confused child walked down the front of the box and thought you were waving to him. Another mark from Morecambe, who runs on and kicks inside the forward 50. This time Toma's the target. Donaldson again.
Got to get somebody at home.
Donaldson's been terrific. Morecambe kick inside was marked by him, so he goes out wide to Baird, who shares it with Sheehan. In fact, that's Kalangiri. Kalangiri's kick dropped by Conway. In there was Rosengren, threw it out to Donegan.
Too high.
And a free kick will come the way of Harry Donegan at right half forward for Golden Square. Looks up, saw Toma inside the 50. In fact, Marciano screamed at him for the football. Donegan runs on and tees it up for Johnston, who's one out at the top of the square. Donaldson gets there again. Free kick going to JD. The umpire says that Dylan Johnston infringed in the marking contest, and the absolute rock of the Storm's defence has got it on the last line again. Sends it outside the defensive 50 towards Sheehan.
Sheehan's got it on the bounce, reined it in like it was on a leash, sent it down the wing on the outer side, and it's over and out of bounds to be thrown back into play. Well, anybody's preliminary final still the ball game. It's 64-60, Storm in front, 6 minutes gone, all the sixes in the final term. From the back, Crone got it. Can he find a teammate? No. Storm a chance, Square a chance. Loose ball, hit towards the centre of the ground. Great work through the middle by Wallace for the Storm. He ran his measure, got support. Storm inside forward 50. He centering kick to Road, and he's taken the mark. 45 out on a bit of an angle. Sheer persistence, Strathstorm. They found the overlap all the way down the ground, just that extra person to help out. Not sure the science was spectacular, but the will to make it work was really good. 64-60, 4-point ball game before Rhodes' kick. In he comes, Brad Road. From 45 metres, goes for home, not quite the distance. Mark on the goal line between the goal post and the point post by Harry Conway. Well, how was he allowed to do that?
You can't. You just can't.
Steps out, fires at goal, and he's missed. He's blown it. Kicked a point. Let
the
off
pine.
for Golden Square. Margin 5 points. Storm 9-11-65. Square 9-6-60. 7.5 gone final term. Thanks to Aussie Disposals.
A little bit of bend on it. Hit
Gee.
the right hand upright. Still went through, I think. I think it clipped the inside and still went through, but just brought it back a little bit too acutely. Dorrington to do the kick in for Golden Square. Slams it to the outer side wing. Dalrymple flew high, couldn't mark. Brought to ground. Coe shovels it out. Dalrymple's going to have to put his head over it here. Formosa bullocked him off the football inside defensive 50. Coe slams it out. The Dogs might be able to pick it up and run here at half-back. Baird gets it for the Dogs. Well done to Much. Much down the line looking for Johnston, who held his ground with Donaldson and then saw it towards the boundary line where Tracy picks it up.
Poor kick.
Tried to bring it back on the angle. Really didn't have a lot to go to. But Callan Geary was the last link in the chain for the Storm, who goes back to Fergus Payne, who kicks a dangerous ball to Heaviside. Geary knocked it down. Well done, Sam Heaviside. After Walters lost the run, he reined it back in. Got it to Moorhead. Moorhead's kicked down the line, though, intercepted by Rosengren. And the game has gone up a notch here in this final term as Rosengren goes inboard to Toma.
Toma, the little fella, goes towards half forward. Poor kick. Chopped off. Storm win it back. It was kicked down there by Sheehan towards half forward. Out on a lead was Lockie Sharp. Copped a high one, said the umpire. Free kick. Stopped. Propped. Now he plays on. Drives the Storm inside forward 50. Rode the target. Can't keep it in. Over and out of bounds. It'll be thrown in deep in the forward pocket for the Storm.
See the St Kilda captain, Jaron Geary, here at the QEO watching his two brothers fight it out here, and he was out at Eagle Hawk this morning, boys, at Eagle Hawk training, giving them a bit of a pep talk. So he said he's a Borough boy through and through.
Is he playing next week?
He'd be a handy inclusion, wouldn't he?
You'd reckon he might be. So the throw in deep in the forward pocket for the Storm. Danger here for the Bulldogs. See, one here to the Storm would really make it tough. Shot at goal. Out of the pack. Minor score. Margin. One straight kick. 9-12-66 Storm. Square 9-6-60. 9.5 gone. Final term of the prelim final.
Ball to be brought back in. Dorrington to do the duties. He's going to kick it short into the back pocket and find Young. Young goes to Anderson, who's just corralled as he takes the mark. So Anderson is off and running now. He got it out to Coe, who slammed it up the line. Bouncing ball will go over the boundary line out of bounds, but it's on centre wing, and the Dogs have moved it at least up to the wing. Can you see them kicking enough of a score from here, Josh?
Look, it's only 6 points in it, Joel. The pressure from Golden Square has been fantastic in this quarter, so they're not that far off.
They've already got one win, the Dogs, in the A-grade netball. They've beaten Gisborne Golden Square 53-50, the final score there. Gisborne and Sandhurst in the grand final next weekend in the A-grade netball. Wallace through the centre of the ground for the Storm. From the stoppage to Geary. Lovely kick. Callan Geary on a lead is Sharp. Lockie's marked 45 out, 45-degree angle away to the left in the South Bendigo Rooms pocket. He will waste no time, as he always does, and take his kick. For a 2-goal margin and his 5th of the day, from the paint to the 50, Sharp brings it back and salutes to the crowd. Another fantastic finish from the mercurial forward. And Lockie Sharp's got 5 and 143 for the season. 10-12-72, Strathfield say 9-6-60, the Golden Square Bulldogs. 11 gone last term thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
We said earlier, boys, how easily he kicks them, but a left footer in that pocket.
Wind going across the face of goal.
Yeah,
not
tough
an
kick.
easy kick.
Ball up centre of the ground. Dogs win it out of the centre. Gee, they need the next one. It's wobbled to half forward. The Storm repel. Wobbly ball. Loose. Back to the centre of the ground. Taken by Hall. Under the pump. He's thrown it on the boot. Gets it to half forward. Square. Collared and pass. It is tough. Not much. Will have to dispose of the football. It's absolutely up a whole heap of notches from moving away footy. From the ball up, kicked out of the pack from the Storm, but a square mark. They repel wide out of side, and Welsh takes the mark. Welsh at half back now, plays on. Forward, Johnston got rid of JD, but he's well down the ground. From half forward, the big fella turns, pops it up, inside forward 50. Up they go, no one could take the mark. Loose at ground level, chance for the Dogs. Kick around the body, no one home for square in the goal square. Chance down there for Fergus Payne. Takes it, got it to Stringer. Plenty of Storm defenders back there now. Stringer measures the kick, maybe not all that good. Thumped away by a square player, taken by Hall, just outside defensive 50. Pops it up, down the wing, grandstand side, hit back to half forward by the square, taken by Toma. Hand pass was intercepted, loose ball, Storm, good intercept, work towards Nayland, he's lost it in a tackle. Umpire's played a free kick to the square at half forward.
Toma will take it. He'll send it into the centre of the ground and find Tracy at centre half forward. Tracy goes to the scoreboard pocket. Baird on a lead marks. Adam Baird's got it. Thrum presented in the centre. Baird wants to go back and take his kick from the scoreboard pocket. He's about 5 metres inside the boundary and 45 out.
Tough kick for Skinny Baird, I think, here. Especially with the wind going straight across the face.
Good that he's accepting responsibility though. He's prepared to go back and take it on.
Kicked plenty this season. 28 on the year for Adam Baird. The margin 12 points before his kick. Baird comes in from 47 metres out. It's a high ball. It'll sit for Morecambe. More big fly. Nearly got there. Leicester was pretty keen to see it through for a rush behind, which he did. 11 points the margin. 9-7 the square. 10-12 the Dogs. 72 plays 61, 14 gone last term, and that is thanks to Kangaroo Flat Storage on Bendigo's Fresh FM.
So Donaldson brings it back into play, bombs it up high, outside defensive 50, Rosengren. Good pack mark for the Dogs. Just a kicking a bit out from goal. Goes across the ground. Who's it to? Oh, went to one of the smaller teammates. Couldn't find him. Payne crashes the pack, but he lost it. Tracy took it. Drives the Dogs back inside forward 50 to Much, who takes the mark, plays on, goes for goal. No one home except JD himself. Donaldson marks on the absolute last line of defence for the Storm. They might be in a bit of trouble if it wasn't for JD.
Kicks up the ground. He's been terrific. It went over the head of Harvey and Cope plucked it. Goes inside forward 50. Big fly from Marciano. Couldn't bring it in. Shannon Geary to the back pocket. Nayland. Good kick found Stringer. Gee, it was nervous stuff for the Storm for a couple of minutes there. 15 gone last term. 11 points is their lead, but they are camped inside defensive 50. And Square are banging at the door. Long ball from Stringer to Conway. He's been good this afternoon as well. Harry's mark between the wing and half-back. Kicks up towards half-forward for Sharp, who marks at centre half-forward. Had Anderson in his back. Jason Maher says, no, Lockie, go back and take your kick. He shares it out wide with Harvey, and Harvey's run the length of the field again. He's marked 45 metres out. He's about 15 metres in from the boundary to the left in the South Bendigo Social Rooms pocket, where the shade envelops the ground here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval.
Geez, the Dogs set up well, but for Conway to take that mark, it just broke them.
15 and a half gone. Final term.
Yeah, it's a big kick for Harvey. He missed one earlier in the day. From 45 metres, it's on its way, but it's narrow. And the margin is back to 2 kicks. 10-13, 73 the Storm. 9-7, 61 Golden Square. We've played 16 in the last on Bendigo's Fresh FM, thanks to Bendigo Bulk Carpets, Choices Flooring, as we take you inside local finals footy as we do every week.
So Kieran with the kick-in duties for Square. Long bomb, clears defensive 50. At the back, though, Storm with the numbers. The one out, one back works for them. They go back inside forward 50. Loose ball, 30 out from the Storm goal. Hand pass over the top. Danger here for the Bulldogs. Can they get out of trouble? Kieran takes it under the pump. His kick's out on the full, or is it paid as deliberate?
Out on the full.
Out on the full. Storm free kick. Guess who's got across to take it?
Yeah, guess who ran from the forward pocket?
Lockie Sharp. So he's probably got to kick it from almost the 50 and the wrong side of the boundary line, but he's mercurial. He is mercurial. Shot at goal, just hit the woodwork, through for a minor score. So now it's 13 points the margin, and tough for the Bulldogs of Golden Square.
Well, they've got to score 3 times. A 3-possession ball game. As Kieran slams it outside the defensive 50. Geary will get there and mark. Really well done, Callan Geary. Another workhorse performance from him this afternoon. You feel bad calling him a workhorse with his amount of class. On the right boot into the forward pocket. Sharp flies. Kieran, that's a big defensive mark from the bottom age under 18 player who stood up in the forward pocket for the Storm and taken a good defensive mark for the Square. Short kick found Anderson. He got it to Coe. Coe thumps it outside his defensive 50 to absolutely no one but Jamison Sheehan from the Storm, who's taken the relieving mark on centre wing on the outer side of the ground. 18 gone last term. Storm by 13 points in the prelim final as they bang it back inside the 50.
High kick. Plenty camped under it. Mark not paid. Again, danger here for the Bulldogs. They work it out wide. Taken by Thrum. Little kick's okay. And the mark's taken by Dylan Johnson at centre half back. Well, he's not going to kick it up to himself and take a big mark. So his little kick is okay. Finds a teammate. Dogs with it. Still defensive side of the centre. Johnson follows up. Took the hand pass. Just threw it on the boot. Big kick. Inside forward 50. Plenty up. No one could take the mark. 2 Square players went up, none down. Geary at the back crumbs it. The skipper for Storm goes wide and gives it to Trent Donnan, who marks just outside defensive 50.
18 and a half gone. Storm by 13 points. Donnan handball to Smith. Smith to Harvey, who from a standing start pumps it on the right boot toward Conway. Thumped away from him by Rosengren, who had to turn defender. And will have a throw in at left half forward for Stratfield Saint.
Good move putting Hamish Morecambe back forward, I think, boys. That's what they need.
So Square have led for the majority of the day. The Storm hit the front with a 3-goal burst in that third term and haven't looked back. Square have been within a goal in this final quarter. The margin now 13 points as the ball's brought back in, and Dean Goodridge calls for it once more. Earlier today, Carisbrook premiers in the MCDFNL, Witchyproof Narraport premiers in the North Central Football League. Golden Square have won through to the grand final in the A-grade netball, where they will meet Sandhurst next weekend. Hall from the stoppage across half forward. Got it to Callan Smith, to Conway inside 50, who got up high and nothing short of plucked that one out of thin air. And Conway will go back and kick from 48 metres out on a slight angle to the left, and it'll give the Storm a 19-point buffer in time on. From there it gets tough. Harry's kick 2. They both came to this end in the second term. On the right boot, he strikes it long, but it is just away again to that left-hand side. Another behind. 10-15, Stratfield say. 9-7, Golden Square. 14-point buffer the Storm as we tick into time on in the final term, thanks to Choices Flooring.
Just a question, boys. It's Square only got 3 on the bench. They're missing one somewhere. Just have a bit of a look in front of us.
Yeah, you're right.
Meanwhile, the Storm have kicked towards goal, and it's been run through for another minor score. Storm are 10-16-76, Square 9-7-61. 20-minute mark of the final term. The margin 15 points. Square desperately and quickly need another goal.
Oh, and they're in desperate trouble now from the kick in. Geary had it. Toma. Callan Geary kicked towards goal. It was cut off by Dorrington to Rosengren, who got one on the boot as he was tackled, but to a nest of Storm players. Stringer had it. He goes inside the 50 and finds Wallace.
with those very, very bright boots.
Wallace, 45 out, will go back and have a shot, John Hunter.
Yes, Golden Square 1 down. Will Lee concussed and has gone to hospital. So
Did you see the ambulance on the other side of the ground?
Pretty serious concussion by the looks of it.
Unfortunate for Will Lee, who's been such a good performer for them this season.
Yep, my word, he has.
Here is Lockie Wallace. He also kicked one in that second term. From 45 metres out, he's given it a good thumping too, but that is also away to the left-hand side. It's the side that if you're going to miss them, you've got to miss them too. 10-17-77, Golden Square 9-7-61. The Storm by 16 points with about 10 minutes to play in season 2017 for one of these sides. The other will play Eagle Hawk next week in the grand final.
I'm just not sure I can see Josh Square belting down the other end for 3 goals.
No, definitely not.
Long kick out, and again it goes over the back, and the Storm with numbers take a possession. Kick it in the middle of the ground, Fergus Payne. Flew high like a pigeon. And plucked down a good
Thought of a
mark.
more majestic animal, couldn't you?
So it was pretty. It was just a good nose. Kicked inside forward 50. And Jack Geary's taking a good mark
Kick
in
wasn't
defence
pretty.
of 50 for Golden Square. Thought it was a chip maybe. It's gone across the ground. Kieran takes it, goes short, and gives it to Jake Thrum, who marks on defensive 50. Another little short kick. So Square keeping's off. I'm not sure they've got the luxury of all that time. Coe goes wide to the wing, out of side. Dorrington has come down from fullback and takes the mark. So Dorrington on the wing, out of side. Another little toe poke. That's okay. Finds a teammate. Marciano with the footy. Signals he's going to go long. Just really no one to kick to. Then he goes towards a teammate who was caught behind. That was Morecambe. And a Storm mark at half-back out of side. Too predictable. Their problem all day has been that kick to half-forward and inside forward 50.
Payne's got it for the Storm across half-back. He kicks to the outer side wing. Kieran up high. Road was there as well. It's offhand. It's over. It'll be a throw-in.
Joel, 23 minutes gone, 23 and a half minutes gone. I've just seen
2 goals in the quarter.
Yes, 2 goals in the corner. I don't think there'd be much time on to go.
You wouldn't think so. Maybe 3 minutes, and Golden Square have got to kick 3 goals. And it's been their problem in recent weeks. They averaged about 25 scoring shots per game. They had 14 in the first week of finals, not much more than that last week, and 16 today, whereas the Storm have had 27 as the ball is tossed back in. It comes to the turf, and we will have another ball up. Still across half forward for the Storm. Crone wins it down. Out the back is Toma. His kick smothered. Off hands. They fight for it on the outer side. Formosa, who's been good, throws his head on the football. He can't come away with it. And still on the outer side in front of a big throng of Golden change rooms, a ball up. 24 gone. Last term. Storm by...
Well, they've played, 3 finals this series? Storm, Square?
Yep.
And just really it's been the same problem all the way through. Haven't had enough avenues to kick goals. High ball towards the centre of the ground. Umpire's picked out a free kick against Jakey Thrum. It'll go to the Storm. So in the centre of the ground, as the sun sinks lower, Lockie Bonney goes wide and finds a target at half forward on the outer side for the Storm. Bit difficult at times now, the Storm. This time of day, they're looking right into the sun.
Yep.
So sometimes it's a matter of just kick it and hope. Long bomb, that one. Inside forward 50. And at the back, good mark in defence.
Who else?
Captain Jack has got it in the back pocket for Golden Square.
As you'd expect. Chip short to much. 16 points the margin. 25 gone in the final term, and really both sides just taking the air out of the football at this stage, because you think that Golden Square have had the air taken out of their sails. Geary kicks long down the outer side wing. Johnston fisted it down. It's off hands, it's over the back, and it'll be a throw in on the outer side just forward of centre for the Dogs.
No doubt there'll be a few Eagle Hawk boys here watching on today to see who they're going to take on next week. And by the looks of it, Joel, at this stage is going to be Stratford Sale.
Yep.
Don't think there's
Likely
much doubt about that.
Will be. It'll be a very, very good duel as well. Looking forward to that already as the siren sounds. And the Strathfield Say Storm book their spot in the big dance. They will meet Eagle Hawk next week after a 16-point win over Golden Square in a tense and tough preliminary final. The final score, Strathfield say 10-17-77, have defeated Golden Square 9-7-61, and for the fourth time in 5 years, the Storm return to the grand final to face Eagle Hawk next week. A very well-deserved win. They kicked 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third. They finished off with 1 goal, 7 in the last term, but dominated possession, dominated field position, and they come away deserving winners. Golden Square only managed 2 goals, 4 in the entire second half, and couldn't quite get over the line this afternoon. However, a valiant effort, and it'll be a topic of discussion as we go throughout, that Golden Square maybe had no right to be here in the first place. A supremely well-coached side that's battled injury and other illnesses throughout the season and had to do a lot of hard work to get to this position. The Storm